And we should be live.
And I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Tune in next week.
We constantly make that joke. Constantly.
I know. It's almost like a habit now. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to 3 Galaxies. Last session, I believe someone in the chat said it best, was a lesson in how to go from 1 to 100 real fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Our heroes.
We use the term loosely.
We do.
Mhm.
Our protagonist, in an effort to get this guy out of the way so that they can get Xavier's estranged daughter, not alleged anymore, out,
real
and
daughter.
part because they just really did not like him.
Well, he was
think
a
we had
lecherous
reason.
drunk
No,
that felt up a 14-year-old.
I am not making judgments. I am stating facts.
Uh-huh.
Framed him for the murder of Anna in a glorious fashion.
America.
Also, Anna's dead.
Also, Anna is not dead. She was stuffed in a liquor cabinet for a bit. But
She is
Jesus,
sleeping
she
off
just
alcohol.
pretended to be dead.
Yes. And you did manage successfully to convince him that he had murdered someone again, as you found out. And he fled the station. You, Pa, released Susanna into your care under the stipulations that she is to leave the station within 48 hours and cannot return for a period of 6 months, which won't be a problem, I assume, for most of you.
Nope.
And
Yeah, that's fine.
when you got on the ship, now we did say that we can retroactively, if you guys think of something you'd like to do or something you'd like to buy, we can handle that at the start of the session, and we will. But the goal at the start of the session is to go to Noble Station, where Susanna was trying to get back the bracelet that Xavier had was hired to take quite some time ago. How many years ago? It had to be at least 14 years ago, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, almost 15 years ago.
Oh,
Actually,
right.
and also then obviously there's a 9-month pregnancy, so we're looking at about 15 and a half years
Sure.
ago
Makes sense.
since
So-
schmooly pooping time.
So 15 and a half years ago, stole the bracelet
Poop.
from a low technology world. And you guys are going to go back to Noble Station to the Noble Museum. And I know that's the words are the same, but this is literally the museum of the Noble family there to attempt to acquire said bracelet.
Yes.
Right. So first things first, before we head out, was there anything, Bern? I think we took care of your shopping list.
Yes.
Was there anything you guys thought of that you wanted to do before leaving Frontier Station?
I don't know if this has to do in specifically with Frontier, but just kind of a general thing. Whenever we have a little bit of downtime and Tessa's not with Hart, Anna's going to make an effort to be hanging out with Tessa.
Okay, sure. Well, you have a 2-day journey to Noble Station, so plenty of sister heart to heart time without Hart. Tessa she's been very subdued. I'll handle this in broad strokes. She's been very subdued ever since Hart came back. Your best friend went through some rough times, and Tessa will tell you, Anna, that this has hit Hart harder than she lets on, even to Isaac, especially to Isaac. She puts on a brave face for Isaac. So, and Tessa's kind of been the not the
Soundboard?
lightning rod of hate, the shoulder to cry on. You know what I mean? Which is a little
Ouch.
unusual. Yeah, I know, but Hart
Ow.
doesn't. Well, and Anna, you would know this from Tessa. Hart knows how hard Isaac puts it on himself, so she's not about to make him feel worse. Does that make sense?
I don't think I would need to learn that from Tessa.
Well, true, but these are things that Tessa talks about because, I was gonna say, yeah, shit rolls downhill, And Isaac, Byrne, obviously you heard that, but Isaac doesn't know. But Isaac does know that Hart does still confide in him a bit as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But yeah, so because of all this, Tessa has been in a bit of a subdued mood as well. And probably enjoys just hanging out with Sis.
That's good. Also, she's probably going to be like, just kind of like whenever with Indigo, probably slipping questions about the Corsairs as well.
Oh. You mean like as in an attempt to convince Tessa to join the Corsairs?
She's not doing that step yet.
Okay.
Just kind of getting information and thinking about it at this point.
Got it. Is Indigo hip to this?
Probably after a while, yeah.
Okay, so Indigo would start by answering them matter-of-factly, and eventually start making them sound as cool as possible.
I'm not the one you need to convince.
Yeah, I know, but while Tessa is around.
Oh. Well, she's not going to be asking questions while Tessa's around.
Oh, I thought that was the point. Okay, never mind.
No, she's not letting Tessa know the plan yet.
Then she just answers them matter-of-factly.
Okay.
All right, anyone else?
Kid,
yes.
Hi. Sorry, for some reason there's a lot of static going on in the background of everything.
That's called an EMP.
No, it sounds a bit more like radio chatter, but whatever. So I don't know if I mentioned this previously, but while Cyber 6 was offline, when Kid was hanging out in his room quite a bit with Indigo, they probably would have left a lot of crap in there, like sketchbooks and playing cards. So I thought I would mention that about at least a fourth of their stuff has migrated into his room. Don't know if there'd be mention of this, but
the only mention. Okay, so here's the thing. The only mention of it would be pertaining to the trash that would be left in the room, like the wrappers that were just left in a corner somewhere. Cyber 6 would have
boxes.
Yeah, the empty cracker boxes. Cyber 6 might have mentioned that. What you will find is one day soon you will find all of your stuff neat, organized, and stacked outside the room door to your room, as well as Indigo's.
Outside of Kid's room and Indigo's room, or
well, like your stuff outside of your room, her stuff outside of her room, and probably one or two things that were kind of ambiguous, like Cyber 6 maybe didn't know which was which.
It's halfway between her room, halfway between Kid's room. You guys can figure it out for yourself. Alright. Kid will find less neat ways to put them back into their room.
Okay. Less neat?
They are not good at organizing, alright?
I understand.
Not that they've put much effort towards it, but, personal choice.
Right. No, I'm with you. I understand. Alright. Yeah, but no, he wouldn't have mentioned anything about it whatsoever. Anybody else? I think that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So the trip to Noble Station takes about 2 days. There, you guys. It has been some time since you have been to Noble Station, so I was
Okay.
going to give you guys a bit of a recap about what you know, just about what you know about Noble Station. Noble Station is a very Bespin like, to quote Star Wars, type of place. It is a large floating city in the upper atmosphere of a gas giant, and it is the only planet in the system that is inhabited. The planet itself is not inhabitable. Obviously, it is a gas giant, but it is famous for its the mining of the gases there, and it is called Noble Station because this gas giant is a bit of an oddity in that it has a plethora of noble gases, which, if anyone knows their chemistry, noble gases are gases that are absolutely inert. They don't like to react to much of anything, which makes them very, very useful for all kinds of things like atmospheres and chemical experiments and high tech that explosive things might be bad.
Terraforming.
Yes. So noble gases are in high demand, and this station, though small, is very profitable. That said, the structure that you know of the station, and Piph was well acquainted with this. It's a very aristocratic government. Obviously, it's a monarchy. It is run by the Lebu family, that you guys as characters don't know much about at the moment because you've never had a need to really research it. But it's got a very Napoleonic vibe to how they dress, how they act, things of that nature. That said, despite they're rich, they have very little influence in the galaxy, and they are very small. The Noble Station security force is maybe a couple hundred people total. And given that the station itself has a population of probably around 40,000, it's very clear that security is small but incredibly well trained, and that's typically how it runs there. Any questions of Noble Station? Things that you guys might know that you would like to ask, or that you could reasonably find?
Well, isn't there someone there who's supposed to be paying us an obscene amount of money or something like that? Or did they pay us in full? Because remember back in the day when we found like this crazy moon crashing into a planet, it was enriched with minerals.
Yeah.
And didn't we sell that data to someone?
Yes.
Yes.
So we did do a overtime we get money thing,
Yeah.
but we opted out of that when they started asking questions and just took a large lump sum.
Oh, yeah. That's right, the questions. Okay, great. And also, isn't Snipe on Noble Station?
Yes, he is. He is running
And
he runs. Sorry,
go ahead.
You first.
Well, I was about to say he still does some pretty shitty stuff, right?
Yeah. As far as you know, he hasn't turned a new leaf or anything.
No, man.
He runs
He's totally legit. Totally legit.
Yeah. If anyone asks, he's totally legit. He runs a spare parts and junk shop, which can also happen to include weapons and contraband that just happens to find their way into his shop sometimes.
Gotcha. Good.
Is Snipe a
Perfect.
friend or an enemy?
Snipe is
A friend. He started out as an enemy that we turned him into a friend.
Yeah, he is beholden to the group. Whether that means friend or not is kind of a debate, but he owes the group big time.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a general idea, and I think we would probably talk about this as we approach Noble Station. Since certain individuals are well known to the LeBeau family, and we've had previous dealings here. It'd be best if we all show up in some sort of decent disguise. All right? I'm fine. Not only do I have literally 5 other identifications and faces for them, which is no big deal. In fact, one of them is Seto Kanataro. He's Japanese, and he's an engineer out of Noble Station. So I'm going to be using his face while we first dock. But Squee, I would like to do a galactic lore check, because I would like to see if Xavier can think of any humanoid races where their daily garb, either due to cultural or religious practices, causes them to cover their face, or even better, their entire body in some sort of elaborate set of clothing.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and roll me that.
Okay, give me just 2 seconds. All right. Someone named Kid is really rolling for Pope Kid. But okay, well, oh dear, I don't have my character open. I had other things for this session open, but not my character. Okay, I don't think 87 is going to be good though. Galactic lore. Oh, there we go. Oh, I have an 80. Maybe it would have been an 85 if we leveled up. Looks at Squee. But I got an 87. So for now, we're going to say I failed by 7.
Yeah, sorry guys. I promised everyone that they would
You
have
sure
XP
did.
this week, and I do not have XP for them.
Nope.
I am
okay.
bad GM.
No,
I
this is what
forgive
happened. Fucking Total War 2 took up all of our XP. You bastard.
Yeah, it's true. All
You,
like 6
I was
hours.
going to
I
bed
know.
last night, and you were still up playing it, mister. You could
Actually-
have calculated our XP.
I fell asleep playing.
That's even better.
I went to sleep at a decent hour at my desk. But yes, I know. I am sorry. I am bad GM.
Anyways,
so-
but
yes, there. Okay, so you're sure there's probably quite a few, but the only one that seems to come to mind, and when you look up data on it, the only one you're able to really find a decent picture and data on are the Stets. STETS. I'll go ahead and put that
neat.
over here. The Stets are a humanoid race. They're 2 arms, 2 legs,
Great.
between 5 to 7 feet in height.
Awesome.
So that's not an issue at all. They have 2 fingers and a thumb, so 3-fingered hands.
Okay, all right.
And their atmosphere of their planet is incredibly dense and many, many times stronger than what average people, the average human of Wolfen could stand.
Okay.
And conversely, when they are in lower pressure atmospheres, their skin and body starts to have issues because they need that constant pressure. So they have to wear encounter suits. The only thing is, and probably the reason why these guys stuck out in your mind, is their suits are pretty ludicrous.
Oh boy, we got. Did someone say ludicrous? Please continue, Squee.
Where?
Quiet bear, Lucas.
The thing is, in the culture of the Stets and Stet communities, encounter suits, sounds and most importantly chimes are considered very religious in nature. To have constant chimes or sounds around you is to invoke the favor of the gods. So their encounter suits are famous for being completely decked out in many different types of bells and chimes and things of that nature. And they have a difficulty with foreign diplomacy because people just hate being around them. They just constantly make a dozen. Imagine someone with 100 bells attached to their clothes or their
Right.
suit.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Now these are environmental suits, for lack of a better word, right? So
Correct.
this is something that they would need to be repaired or maintained, or have some extras, or have access to them being repaired. In major hubs throughout the galaxy, right?
Correct.
Xavier has a big smile across his face, and he says, "Well, this might be out to left field, but we might find some luck. Myself, and I would suggest Cyber 6, Kid, even, no, not Anna for sure, or whomever else who hasn't actually been in physical contact with LeBeau or on Noble Station before. Well, we should show up, and I think we should go see our old friend Snipe. If I remember, he ran quite the shop. Normally had to do with space parts, but if he doesn't have it, he might know someone who has STET environmental suits. These folks are quite something, and if we can get at least a few suits, we would be able to infiltrate Noble Station without any of the LeBeaus knowing who we are. Then we'll be able to stake out this museum. Heck, maybe even go on a little tour and know what we're up against. What do you guys think about that?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. All right. Xavier gives a smile towards Susanna and says, "You'll have to stay here on the ship, or at least for a little while, until we can at least confirm we can get these suits or not. And if we can't, it probably wouldn't hurt for you folks to come up with a backup plan as far as disguises go." And yes, Lucas, Xavier, as he looks over towards Lucas, I know we still have our ninja masks, but that would be a little too conspicuous, don't you think?
He squints his eyes. You just don't know how to use it.
Okay, well, maybe that's something you should work on, suggest Lucas, as Xavier soon activates the memory, the small memory chip underneath his skin for his cyber disguise, and setting it to face number 5, Sato Kantaro. I engineer out of Noble Station. I'll make sure to have his ID with me as well.
Got it. And he was an engineer in the sense of like he worked the gas mines?
Yeah, environmental engineer. Yeah.
Got it. All right. So blue collar, not much renowned or anything like that. But...
Well, since he's an engineer, I'd say he's pretty white collar, but he's probably familiar with blue collar work.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay. Absolutely.
Trust me, I know a lot of engineers in the freaking oil and gas and natural gas thing, and they would not consider themselves blue collars at all. Oh my God, engineers have some egos to them. In some areas, not all engineers at all. That's an unfair generalization. But oh man, whew. They're very happy about their status.
I understand. I worked hard to achieve it.
Yeah, law school, right? Not
okay.
just anyone can be an engineer.
So you get that settled. I believe Isaac was going to don a disguise as well, yes?
Yes.
Now no engineers will watch our series anymore.
Our sub count just plummets.
First off,
who knew all 90% of her demographics were engineers? Shit. All right. Anyway.
So Isaac is going to don a silver fox look. He's going to dye his hair black first, and then dye his hair white in streaks. He also got a set of goatee, and he's going to do the same kind of look to it, the salt and pepper look, because he's trying to look older.
Got it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. He's going to be wearing a suit while we're on the station, and he's going to be unarmed.
Okay. First things first. Kid, you have a plus sign.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just let you know, Burn, it'll be a lot easier to dye your hair white and then black.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We'll just do that. Then.
Just saying.
Honey, you're not gonna be blonde anytime soon.
Hang on. Hang
look.
on.
Let me say something right here. I have never had my hair longer than half an inch. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and
I
gotta
literally
ask,
brought up black hair dye last night.
well, hang on. I gotta ask, Isaac, do you have any sort of disguise skill?
I'm gonna ask
I
Xavier
do,
to disguise.
I have a very good disguise skill, actually.
Okay, good, because we need someone who knows that it's better to dye your hair white than black.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay,
Maybe the
wait.
girl with black hair.
Alright, no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let the kid is super excited about this, so I'm gonna put that in their able clause.
Okay.
Oh, I like that image even
Kid?
better.
Do you have any disguise skill?
I have art skills.
Oh, well, I actually literally have a disguise skill.
Oh, well, fine.
Yeah. I mean,
Can I at least can I just use the disguise skill to be like, hey there, Isaac, heads up. You want to dye your hair white first, then black.
Yeah.
Yes. So here's what I would ask for. Xavier to roll a disguise skill, Kid
Alright.
to roll an art skill. I'm not going to give you a penalty. I just kind of have a threshold in my mind.
Oh my god, I
For-
feel that too by 10. Never
Oh
mind,
my
I don't say that.
god.
Yeah, Xavier.
Jesus.
Xavier's had the implants for so long he hasn't had to dye his hair in years.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay, you know what? We're just getting all our bad rolls over junk stuff so far. This is good. I know that's not how dice work, but whatever.
Is there stereotypical girl information roll?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
All right. Isaac.
Xavier will just be like, I never want to make myself look old, so why would I ever know that, Isaac? Maybe that'll be Xavier's response.
It's just like, I don't know how humans age.
Isaac, would you make me an unskilled roll, please?
What about an IQ roll?
I mean, you can add your IQ bonus to that unskilled roll.
Okay. What's the unskilled 24?
No,
20?
well, is it 4% bonus for your IQ?
Yeah.
Yeah, then 24.
Okay. No.
Well, you're gonna have dishwasher hair.
So,
Oh boy.
your hair does not like you have this vision. It does not match that vision.
God dang
Instead
it,
of
man.
streaks of white, you get like splotches of white, and it's more gray than white because it wasn't done correctly. Basically, put the disguise is not an incredibly convincing disguise. It hides your facial features, certainly, but it would be pretty clear to anyone who takes more than a casual glance at you that it's not a real goatee, and that you're wearing some form of costume.
Can I just dye it black then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, you can.
You need a lot of conditioner, mate.
But unfortunately, the goatee and all that, it's still going to look not incredibly convincing. But
Then
the
I'll
hair
just
will
not
have
have the
splotches
goatee.
Okay. Sorry.
It's
Bad
fine.
rolls.
And after all of that, and he's gonna be super disappointed and all that, he's gonna go up to Xavier and go, "Hey, I got a present for you.
What's the
Come to the cockpit."
Xavier nods, and he follows up, and he goes to, leans over to Isaac, and he whispers, "It's not a stripper, is it? We didn't stop off and pick up any strippers, because I told you we can't have that with my daughter on here."
No, get your mind out of
On
the
the
gutter.
ship.
No, I got us a good
Hey,
luck
listen, when people
charm.
say they have a surprise, it either means it's a bomb or a sex worker. Like 90% of the time.
You need better surprises.
Hey, quiet you! You're not here.
And just
Okay.
I
passes
need
him in the hall.
better surprises. I need better surprises. That was good though. All right. Anyways, so I follow Isaac.
Yeah, we get to the cockpit, and you'll see
Uh-huh.
in between the two captain and co-pilot chairs.
Uh-huh.
Stuck on the window.
Uh-huh.
Right around here is a hook and a pair of fuzzy dice hanging from it. It's a good luck charm.
Oh, says Xavier. Can I do a galactic lore check to figure out what the fuck fuzzy dice mean?
Sure.
All right. Because, yay! Okay, so Xavier will kind of, he'll pause for a moment, and he'll, like, kind of scan his memory of, like, what the fuck, fuzzy dice. Oh, it's an Earth thing. Yeah. Xavier says, "Oh, that's really nice." He says as he gives them a little bap. "Oh, thanks. Was this you? Was this your gift, or is this Heart's idea? This looks like kind of like Heart's idea, but I can imagine she's rubbing off on you a little bit."
No, that was my idea.
Okay, great. Xavier kind of scratches the back of his head and he says, "Oh, this is a little awkward. I don't have a good luck charm for you." Oh, Xavier says, "Aha!" And he reaches through his pockets. He goes, "Oh shit, it's not on me." "Okay, wait right there," Xavier says as he runs over to his room and rifles through a few things. And he comes back and he hands Isaac what looks to be like a flattened silver bullet, like something that was squashed. And he says, "I took out the first vampire I killed with my new gun. The one that I beamed right in the head. We took a moment and I dug it out as kind of a souvenir. And since, you're the big vampire hunter or whatnot, I've been trying to keep it around here as a memento, and maybe it'll bring you some luck too." There
Sweet.
you go.
Thank you.
No problem. I mean, it's a squash bullet, more of a memento of that whole situation, how we got our asses out of that fire.
Yeah.
But, I mean, fuzzy dice, silver bullet, good luck. There you go.
And scene.
And see.
What did Lucas have?
Okay. Lucas?
What?
I could have sworn you tried to say a couple of things.
I believe the last thing he mentioned was that Xavier wasn't using the ninja mask correctly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, then never mind.
I'm not using a ninja mask. My face is a ninja mask now.
Which, I mean, I get the thought process there. Ninjas aren't supposed to be conspicuous. Okay, so, we'll say... Oh, well, no, wait, first things first. I need to ask, does anyone else... So, Xavier's obviously disguised.
Yeah.
Isaac, your hair is black now, and that does help. I mean, I'll say if someone was trying to recognize you, it would be harder, but it's still clearly you.
Yeah.
How much of a bonus would I get if I cut my hair?
It's more the face, dude, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, a little. I would give you a little, but yeah. If someone just passed by you, maybe. But if someone looked straight at you and they've met you before, they'd know it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Xavier will kind of say, it might be best if you just hang up on the ship here until we can confirm getting those stet disguises.
Yes, I got the eyebrows.
Yeah, I'm kind enough. Yes, I'm not going to say nope. Your eyebrows are blonde.
I do have one last idea that could help me, and this would be Kid helping me specifically.
Okay.
Do you still have some of the leftover stage makeup?
Hell yeah.
Okay, could you give Isaac a really nasty-looking scar across his mouth?
Well, here's the thing. Just to let you know beforehand, she's already rolled her art check.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
She's have to use that because it's not really a
different situation.
Exactly, yeah.
Or different knowledge. Yeah.
Alright. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm staying on the ship.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you need any help, Lucas has disguised himself many a times in this adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Probably knows at least one thing.
What's that?
Oh my god.
Oh,
We're never gonna get off the
like
ship.
if you you like get a nice like if you powder your eyes a little bit, it stings.
All right, sure. If Lucas is willing to help me fix my fucking disguise, then go for it.
Sure, Lucas. Do you
He's
have the
like-
disguise skill?
I do.
All right, sir. Would you like to use it to help Isaac?
Yeah.
By the way, I
Roll
have
well,
my
my
contacts
friend.
as well.
I see him like come in with his disguise, and I jump in and be like, "Oh, I see that you might need some help."
Yeah, he's moping around because he fucked up so bad.
So I'll probably discuss with you exactly what you want. You said something about a scar.
Yeah, that would work, because then I could wear a face mask, at the very least. Say that I screwed up my face really bad, so it's better if I wear the face mask.
Alright, something underneath. Good mask, that definitely works. Most of the time. Let's see. I have to do something with the hat. Okay with a hat?
I can wear a hat.
Alright, different hat. Not that hat.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright.
As long as it's not like a really dumb hat. A beanie.
Let's see. He succeeded by 7, so...
It is not a really dumb hat. With Lucas's help, you are able to get the goatee and the hair to be fairly convincing. Someone would have to, not to metagame too much, someone would have to roll a sizable penalty to try and find out who you are.
Okay.
But yeah, he does a pretty decent job of getting you close to what you were looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds great.
Is it safe to say, because it's Lucas, there's one odd thing in there on purpose, or would Lucas be faithful to, like, I don't know?
Will Lucas have any restraint? That's the question we ask ourselves every single episode.
Yep.
He might have like an 80s rock star, like thick, like, you know how they have that like kind of eye outline around their eyes?
Yes.
Eyeliner?
Yeah.
Thick
a little
eyeliner.
bit of that.
Yeah, okay.
You're the
Alright.
edgiest person on the ship.
So disguise worked. Well done. Yeah. So Isaac, like I said, you should be to anything but the highest of scrutiny. You should be okay.
Sweet. Then I'll come along.
All right. Anna, Kid, do either of you want to disguise yourselves in some shape or form?
You know what? There was a period in time last night where I'm like, am I going to bleach Anna's hair blonde? Nah. And then this happened. I'm not going to do we still have that blonde wig from the other heist, don't we?
I mean, I guess you wouldn't throw it away.
Yeah. Because they're not exactly expecting to see Anna's face. That's the only thing, is I don't know what to do with Anna's face.
Well, my suggestion is you had quite the encounter with LeBeau, and if he spots you, he's going to go nuts. So, once again, I'm going to suggest maybe it shouldn't take too long to confirm whether or not Snipe knows someone or has Stet costumes. You might be a perfect candidate for Stet
Okay.
outfit.
You make it sound like a condition.
Well, you're the one who named them.
I know. I was literally looking at my list of names and your role and going, yeah, that seems about right.
There you go. But yeah. Also, out of curiosity, just because I'm sure Susanna's looking for like people to relate with on the freaking ship. How old is Tessa?
22.
Oh, okay.
I think. 23?
I think she's like one of the youngest people here, other than
Tessa's the youngest person here, other than
Susanna. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Hart is 24.
Hart is 24.
Oh yeah, well, sorry, Kid is like 5, but
Yeah.
And Indigo's in her late 20s, so yeah.
Okay, cool.
Which, by the way, for the 2-day trip, Susanna spends most of her time in her room. She comes out to eat. She's very antisocial.
Teenagers.
And
okay, cool.
plays loud. No, she doesn't play loud music.
That's Isaac.
Yeah, that's actually Isaac.
Loud music. Oh, fucking.
She would complain that there aren't any proper musical instruments on the ship.
Well,
There's
I'll
clacking
get
teeth.
you one. I'll keep that in mind. Don't. She is forbidden to go in the clacking teeth room. It'll eat my daughter. No.
I know who she can hang out with.
Not
Quicksilver.
your horse.
Yeah.
Your horse sleeps all day.
I guess.
She would actually probably be pretty not freaked out's the word, weirded out by Quicksilver.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Out of curiosity, just for future role playing things, what instruments does she like?
Yeah, sure. She'd mention it when her complaining. Mandolin.
A mandolin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she grew up in a noble's house.
Now, I do remember distinctly that I think my character might have a problem with that, but most likely not. He's not around because I'm almost positive he would be strategically placed somewhere else far away from her.
Xavier would make sure to strategically, just make sure he's distracted when I know it's mealtime or some shit. And it's not because I don't trust Lucas around my daughter. It's just that I don't trust Lucas around my daughter.
I have to ask, though, what's Lucas got against people liking mandolins?
We're gonna find out.
There is no proper instruments on this ship.
Oh, that part. I was just like, I thought Lucas had this deep burning hatred for mandolins or something.
I like that better.
That's what his frat that kicked him out played. Anyway. Anywho. Sorry, I digressed us. All right. Cool.
So most of you actually don't get much FaceTime with her. If you try, most conversations or attempts at conversation are met with 1 or 2 word answers. She likes to take her food to her room. Very, very antisocial.
Is she still freaked out by Isaac?
No, she's not freaked out by Isaac.
Is this her too cool for school? Is this her too cool for school phase?
Yeah, kind of. It's more like her. She doesn't know how to feel about Dad, and she most certainly doesn't know how to feel about Dad's friends.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Fair.
Fair.
As far as Isaac, the shock would wear off. It's not the first time her spells fail. It's just first time in a while. So yeah.
All right. Anywho, back to Noble Station and hunting down Snipe.
Mm-hmm. So, you guys would arrive on Noble Station. Landing fees are 2,500 credits. It's gone up since last time.
Oh no, I don't know if we can afford that.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
Tough times.
Yeah.
You guys, most of you remember the way to Snipe's shop. And you will find it without too much trouble. It looks like Snipe is doing well for himself. He has a sign above his store that looks like it costs a little bit of money. It's definitely in bright colors, and it's called
Snipe's Pipes.
Hang on. No.
Spunk's
I had
Junk.
this written down specifically. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. Here we go. Snipe's Boutique and Emporium.
Oh God. Okay. I want to look as we're approaching. I want to, and as we're first, entering Snipes and what is it? Something in Emporium?
Boutique.
Boutique?
Boutique, yeah, boutique.
Okay, as he does that, I wouldn't mind doing a electronic countermeasures check to see if I can't spot any sort of surveillance equipment or other sort of monitoring equipment.
Okay. Absolutely. Go ahead and roll for me.
All right, this isn't so great. It's 45, but I fail by 11. 22.
Okay.
21. There we go.
So what you can tell is last time you were in Snipe's shop, it wasn't hard to tell that there was surveillance around. This time, unless Snipes really changed his colors, he's gotten a lot better at concealing them.
Okay.
But what you will notice is when you go into the shop and peruse, it is a very odd mix. It is a shop that consists of what looks like a small indoor junkyard that has many used parts for ships and things like that, and has a section dedicated to stylish clothing, a mostly female dress, and jewelry and things of that nature.
Just nice diversifying. Okie dokie. I, for one, am going to try to find the Wolfen himself.
Okay. He's not hard to find. You'd find him behind the counter. He is very short and scrawny for an average Wolfen. He is no taller than 5 feet, maybe 5'2". I'm sorry, not 5 feet. He's no taller than about 5'5". And he is thinner than Xavier is, which is unusual for Wolfen, but he was never a strong, big guy. Has dark brown and white fur, and he'd be behind the counter, and he would actually be wiping down what looks like a set of nice-looking silverware.
Okay. Who else is with me, by the way?
That's a good
Nobody?
question.
Okay.
Depending on how
Dibs, I'll be there.
let's just say I'll default there unless unwanted.
Well, I guess the big question is actually that isn't an issue because you never had a Wait, were you in an Inspector Clouseau like full on disguise?
Yep.
Okay, so and the last time you were in Noble Station, you were Diplomat Bush.
Admiral Bush.
So as long as you're just Lucas, then I guess we're good.
I can be old man fisherman.
I love how the old man has to come with the fisherman.
Xavier will just say, as long as you're not Admiral Bush or you're detective, then I don't see much of a problem.
Or Miss Fussy Dust. Snipe, Snipe would be the only one that would recognize Miss Fussy Dust.
Miss Fussy Dust.
Because Snipe was the one you used to distract with that.
Yeah,
Give the poor man a heart attack.
It was amazing. All right, cool. So, all right. So Xavier, if it's okay by you guys, will take point. And he'll say,
"Go for it."
Once again, I'm in my Sato disguise, but I'm not going to do a different voice because there's no point. And Xavier will just say, "Oh, good day, sir. I was hoping you'd be able to assist me in finding, acquiring, or finding or purchasing a very unique outfit. I see you deal with both mechanical parts and fashion, and perhaps this is the blend of the two. I'm looking to do some business with some clients off station. However, they are Stet. And as a part of their custom, I think it's only best if I have some spare suits of theirs, just in case they have any sort of malfunction or breakdown. Would you happen to have such Stet suits, or would you know where I could acquire one here on this station?"
He would look up and patiently listen to your question. Also, I forgot to mention before you started talking, and I didn't want to interrupt you. Zuzana is sticking to you like glue unless
she can't.
Unless you find a way to, or let me put it this way.
I told her she had to stay on the ship before all this.
And like I should put it this way because there's obviously things you could do about it. She does not want you to go off on your own again. She wants to know what you're doing and what's going on because she's highly suspicious of you. So that is her intentions. It's up to you how far you were willing to go to keep her from coming with you.
I'm going to forbid it. I'm going to just explain to her that if she gets married by anyone, especially LeBeau, the gig is up. So she has to stay on the ship. It's only going to be for an hour. She can stay in her freaking room in the meantime, and if she behaves herself, I'll buy her a freaking mandolin.
Oh, okay. Hang on, give me a second. I gotta look at her.
Also, Anna could distract her by teaching her how to box. What? To box? You need to teach my girl how to punch anything? That's violence.
Yes,
no,
I
just
did.
kidding.
Oh, she does. Hang on. She does not have any sort of magical disguise abilities. Odd. You'd think a teenager would. She will. Well, no. Tell you what. Roll me a trust check.
Okay. Oh my god, I have to convince my own Ken.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Hey,
Okay. She's
I succeed by 6.
She's smart enough to see the logic that if LeBeau makes her, this is going to be much, much harder. So she's not very happy about it, and she tells you she's going to hold you to your word on that mandolin, but she will stay on the ship.
Okay, and then before I leave, I'll go over to Anna and be like, Anna, can you keep an eye on Zuzana? Like, try to cheer her up or make sure she doesn't try to sneak off or anything like that.
Sure.
Thank you. You're the best, says Xavier as he runs off the ship, changing his face.
Wait for Xavier to leave. Hey, you want to learn how to punch things?
Oh, I'm not there. I can't monitor it, you bitch.
I was actually thinking of like, how is she going to get away from Anna or something? No, yeah, I think she would be interested in learning how to punch. So yeah, she'll let you teach her how to punch things. You'll find out she has a lot of angst. She doesn't seem to listen to any of the parts about finesse and technique.
You think Anna has finesse?
Experience, at least.
Yes.
You at least know how to punch something without breaking your hand.
You should also probably get Indigo in on this, because that's her forte as well.
Yeah, and okay, so sorry for that. Jumping back to the store real quick.
Yeah, I'm
Snipe,
not repeating myself.
Yeah, I understand. Snipe would look up and he'd go, yes, welcome to my shop. Stats. Oh, that's not a race you commonly find out here. Inferno, if you or someone who in the group, roll me a D100. Anyone who would like to.
There
okay.
You go, kid.
But lucky for you, I just happen to have some spares. It's well, I'm sure you don't want the details, but there were some people here that they didn't need them anymore. So I don't normally deal in secondhand clothing, even though my secondhand junk is the finest. Most people wouldn't consider it clothing. Here, I'll show you.
Okay.
And he will take you out into the actual junk section of his shop. And he'll start rummaging through aisles and he'll be like, oh, it's over here somewhere. And he starts throwing things around. He's like, no, not here. Sorry, just one moment. And he'll go to another section and you hear a bunch of crashing. And finally, yes, here they are. And you hear just a plethora of chiming and ringing. It might sound pleasant if it was just one or two of them, but there's so many different tones and so many different kinds that they meld together into just a kind of an ugly, bland chime sound.
Okay.
And he pulls out two, and he kind of has to drag them. Like, they're very heavy, and they kind of look like mannequins at this point. They're rigid enough that they maintain some semblance of shape. There are softer parts of it. Think of it as if someone was dragging around a suit of like half plate mail, if that makes sense. It has rigid parts to it, like breastplates and things like that, but it's attached by a mesh type of thing, with bells all over it. And he goes, one of them is a little damaged, but the atmosphere is still contained, and depending on the size of what you're looking for, it may not be the most comfortable fit, but I guarantee you none of the other stores on Noble Station will have one of these.
All right, so I guess the only question is how much?
Oh, well, that is a very good question. They are a second hand, of course, so obviously that would lower the price a bit, but they are also incredibly difficult to find, and I had to repair that one myself. He points to one of them. So 10,000 credits apiece.
Xavier will give a bit of a smile and say, "How long have you had these for?"
Oh, probably a couple years, maybe 3 years ago, I think.
So I think, says Xavier, it's probably in your interest to sell them to us at 8,000 credits apiece because, as you said themselves, they're very rare and there's very few sets that come this way, which means the opportunity to sell them is very, very rare as well. In fact, I'm the only person in 3 years who've even asked about them. So what do you say, 8,000 a piece?
If you would, sorry to make you roll so much, but roll me another trust check.
That's okay. That's what the dice is about. Oh yeah, I succeed.
He would look at you and he would say, "Well, yes, that is true. I might go quite some time before selling them again. However, if I don't sell them, I'll be fine. But if you don't get them, I think you'll be in need. 8,500 credits. And we'll call it a deal."
Xavier will look to his companions. Look good. Sound good to you?
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Unless we want to try and squeeze them.
Nah. We have the money. Xavier will nod and he'll say, "Okay then. Deal."
Excellent, excellent. I'll have them bagged up for you.
Great.
And he'll kind of like clap his hands, and you'll actually see two very small. I say very small. They're probably kid size. Small furry creatures that walk on two legs. They're bipedal, but they also have big ears and fur, very bat-like in appearance. The very bat-like piggish nose and small beady eyes, and they're wearing like these orange suits that look like working suits, almost like a onesie.
Mm-hmm.
And they come up and he motions for them to bag up the two suits, and he motions you back over to the counter so that you can complete the purchase. And the whole time on the way back, he's like, "Could I interest you in this? This was a very fine addition, and it's a radar for your ships. And it may look like the standard radar, but I assure you, this one actually has a 3% increase in range."
No, thank you. Not yet. We might come back afterwards once we settle our more important business.
Of course. And he'll go back to the counter. You'll complete your purchase, and at that time, you will see that your two suits are actually have been kind of bundled together in what looks like a gigantic burlap sack. And the attendants are like struggling very mightily to drag them over to you. And Snipe will point to the bag and look at you, and he'll get like a glint in his eye. He'll say, I do rent hovercraft for carrying such things at a very reasonable price.
Won't be necessary. I'll be able to take them on myself.
Oh, well then, unless there's anything else I can help you with, my friend, I hope you had a pleasant experience.
No, I think I'm all done, but I think my companions might still browse around a little bit. I'm going to just confer with them. And but I want to thank you very much. Everything that I've heard about your little boutique here seems to be right on the money. Thank you very much for your assistance. So give me a moment, Squee, as I take away 17,000 credits from my monies. And I'll do that while we're doing that. So the plan is that I'm going to take them to the ship for Susanna and Anna. That kind of rhymes. But before I do, I'm going to confer with Isaac, Lucas, and Kid, and Xavier's going to say, I'm going to head off to the ship to give this to our companions. Now, Kid, Isaac and Lucas already know this, but Snipe was a very shady character who used to buy things from pirates. And frankly, I doubt a couple years this man has really changed his stripes. I have a feeling he's still connected to the more seedier sides of Noble Station, perhaps this area of space around it. Maybe, while I'm gone, you guys should sweat him a little bit for whatever information he might know that would give us an advantage into breaking into the Noble Station Museum. What do you think about that?
That sounds good.
Okay. Well then, just give us a radio message at the ship when you're all set to meet back up. But I have to make sure my girl hasn't torn up half the ship while I've been gone. Yeah. She's just so moody, says Xavier, as he mutters that to himself as he departs from the group.
There is one thing that I will ask before he departs. Do we want him to know that it's us or no?
Xavier gives a bit of a smile and he says, use your discretion. I think he'd have a more receptive response if he knows he was dealing with his old business partners, don't you? And I have a feeling he can definitely keep his mouth shut about your true identities if properly motivated.
True. Okay.
All right. So Xavier, how are you getting the suits back?
So they're super heavy?
Yes. They are. What's your strength?
It is 10.
Average.
I am average.
So you might be able to drag one of them back, but dragging both.
I'm not. Xavier don't drag shit unless it's his own ass out of bed after a hangover. Yeah. So instead, what Xavier will do is he'll just rent a hover. Hello.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. Yeah. He'll just rent a hover truck or a hover dolly or something from just someone else. I just don't want to. I just don't want to do it from Snipe because he's going to be busy. Well, it's kind of the principle of the thing, but also, frankly,
we know that
he's going to be distracted.
So...
real quick, Kid, you had a plus sign?
I mean, I was gonna say save your money, Broham. Kid could help you, but if
sure, but I figured you might have fun. I was about to say you might have more fun sweating a wolfin. Flexing those claws.
It's up to you. What would Kid rather do? Help him
it's up to
take it back?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're probably going to have more fun with Snipe, but still, it's an option.
No, it's whatever you. Because trust me, I have 18 million credits, and that's just my personal funds. I can splurge like 50 or 100 or whatever to get a dolly. I want you as a player, Alora. I want you to do what you think is more fun.
Alright.
I don't want you to do what I wanted to know. Yeah, same here. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'll just hang out with
Okay.
Snipes and
Sure.
help them mess with them.
Xavier, it's 40 credits for an hour. Which is more than enough, yeah.
Great. Oh, stupid. I bet you Snipe would have been like, this is the world's best hover cycle, and it'll cost you only 100 credits or some bullshit. So, yeah.
What? Snipe? Never.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm sure it's maybe 30 feet across from the store. You can find one. And Kid, I'm sure, could help you at least load it onto the hover little pad. It's like a little dolly that hovers off the ground. The suits themselves weigh about 200 pounds. Though, Xavier, because you would know this when you look them up, the person who's wearing them, it's like an exoskeleton in a sense. It's much easier to wear it than it is to try and drag it or carry it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And added benefit, since it's on a hovercraft, the chiming is kept to a minimum on the trip back.
Good.
All right. So Xavier makes his way back to the ship. Real quick, guys, before I jump over to you, I was going to jump back over to Anna and
Go for it.
Susanna and Indigo. We'll say it's been about 45 minutes. Are they still teaching her to punch things?
Specifically a punching bag, yes.
Yes. Specifically a punching bag, got it.
Without magic.
I would say that after about 25 to 30 minutes, she continuously ignoring you and Indigo's warnings and stuff, has torn open her hand by punching very badly into the bag. Not torn her. Okay. Sorry. I need to give you guys more credit. I'm sure you would not let her punch a punching bag with her bare fist. She has sprained her wrist very badly by punching Limp Noodle.
Good, I won't be on babysitting duty ever again now.
So basically the Xavier, when you get back to the ship, you would see them in the cargo bay. Not in the cargo bay. Where, Isaac, you're the one that I think set it up. Where did you set up the gym?
Oh, the gym is on the upper floor, and right next door is the quote-unquote medical bay.
Ah, yes. So probably sitting in the medical bay would be Indigo would be wrapping up Susanna's wrist in like some form of an ace wrap.
Xavier will park the hover dolly, and he'll say, "Oh, what's this? New fashion trend?" As he begins to squint his eyes towards Anna.
It's on the rage.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, says Xavier, changing the subject, I got the costume. Well, not costume, sorry. They're ceremonial gear. This should cover both you, Anna, and you, Susanna, head to toe. Indigo, obviously, I don't think you've ever been to Noble Station before, so I don't think there's any need for that. So it's really just you two ladies who are people of interest, we'll just say. So let me know if you need a hand, if it doesn't fit or anything like that. And if you need any tips on how stets typically operate or work, heads up. The hands here, they only have 3 fingers and a thumb. Sorry, 2 fingers and a thumb, so you're probably going to have to squish some fingers in there. But hopefully it won't be too uncomfortable. And we're supposed to just wait here. The other folks, Kid, Lucas, and Isaac, are going to be talking with our mutual contact here and see if he can't give us any sort of behind-the-scenes information about this whole museum. They're supposed to radio in when they're all ready. Any questions?
Do they have to keep the ringing on them?
Yes, that's actually very important about their whole thing. It would be really peculiar not to have the ringing and the bells and the whatnot.
So sneaking is kind of out of the question.
Yes, but once again, Anna, the good news about this is that this is only something that you and Susanna have to wear while we need to do business on Noble Station or casing out the museum. right? Once it comes to the whole stealth, sneak in, break in, we're not going to want to be seen anyway, so you can step yourselves right on out of those stet suits.
Okay.
You see Susanna's giving you this look of just like not believing. And she's like, you don't honestly expect me to wear that thing, do you?
Yeah, says Xavier as he scrunches up his face and then like a sarcastic, like a mocking tone. Yeah, Susanna, I do.
She like rolls her eyes and gets off the counter by putting her wrists on the counter, and then she goes, "Ow!" And you hear Indigo goes, "Don't put your weight on it, dum dum."
Oh, okay. Xavier's gonna kind of clap his hands together. Did you hurt your hand in any way during this whole cultural exchange thing?
No.
Okay, all right, whatever. Xavier says I don't care about that. And Xavier's gonna like lean up the wall by her and Susanna. I'm gonna be like, you know what? I'm not gonna treat you like a kid, Susanna. I am gonna kind of treat you like my daughter, but we're still trying to get to know each other, and there's a big problems with trust. So let me talk to you like a member of this team, right? Because that's kind of what you are now, okay? Whether you like it or not. So, Susanna, there's a huge station filled with people, and not only filled with people, but filled with cameras. And we're supposed to steal this bracelet from a highly secure museum owned by the people whose son you punched the living crap out of a scant 2 days ago. Well, actually, it was like 4 days ago, but I'm sure his memory's a little bit better than a week. So, Susanna, what do you propose? Shall we just stroll in there with no disguise, just be ourselves, be really conspicuous? Or how would you suggest us being able to figure out the security of this place without having to wear that to disguise you? I mean, if you have something up your sleeve, and I'm saying this without any sort of sarcasm, Susanna, I'm all ears, but you know, while we were planning this over these past few days, you just stayed in your room, right? So, I don't know.
She looks at it back and forth. And when you said that you would talk to her like part of the team, she actually kind of became more attentive, less pouty. And she looks back and forth, and then she goes, "Okay, Dad, I'll make you a deal."
All right. I like deals.
You want me to wear that suit? I'll wear the suit.
Great.
If you wear what I tell you to wear when we meet Mom.
Ooh. Can you give me a hint?
When I think of one?
Oh, I see. Now, Xavier's gonna ponder for a moment because now his pride is on the line. He's been really ruining the day to meet Zephaniah because they did not part on very good terms, and if his daughter makes him look like a buffoon, that could either break the ice or really wound his ego. And Xavier's a man who loves his ego. On the other hand, he doesn't want to lie. He doesn't want to say yes and then back out on that. That's not how, good dads do. He also really wants her to wear that frickin' suit. Give me a moment. I'm going to see if Xavier can't weasel his way out of this.
Sure.
He's pretty good at that. Xavier says, on one condition, I get to choose the color.
Deal. And then she walks off to go to her room.
Now, Xavier mentally says that he's going to want to make sure by the time they meet their mother that Susanna just loves him and thinks he's the best father ever. That way she won't want to do anything mean to him. So he'll go over towards Anna and Indigo and say, okay, this is a little important, a small personal favor. If you guys see a store that sells music instruments and like a mandolin, can you let me know? Also, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Sure.
Great. Also, if during your little girl chat or punching fights, which I know you're having, by the way, whatever. That's fine.
Smiles.
If it makes her happy, great. I want her to be happy. But if she says anything, like something that she really wants or something that she thinks is really cool or anything like that, just, let me know. Let me know. I want to make sure she's really, really... As he, slits his eyes again and waits for the radio call. Okay, I'm all done with this scene if you are, Anna.
You're gonna try and buy off your daughter's appreciation.
No, I just want her to I want her to respect me. I want her to like me so much she won't want to make me look like an idiot in front of her mother.
So you're setting out spies to learn what she likes instead of talking to her.
No, I'm doing both. This is Xavier. I'm going to be talking to her, and I'm going to use spies. Both ends, you see.
So you agree we are spies for you?
I like to use the term informant rather than spies. How much is this going to cost me?
I'll figure it out later.
Oh, boy. And now Xavier's going to try to find a man to talk to. Because he's done with women for this hour. No offense.
No.
No offense. But those suits are a lot more expensive than 18,000 credits now to Xavier.
Making all kinds of promises he doesn't know.
It kind of sucks that
okay.
All of the males except for Cathor and technically Cyber 6 are talking with Snipe right now.
Yeah, I know.
Oh crap! And well, it doesn't really matter. Actually, I don't want to make that a silly gender thing. It's really not that.
Here's the thing, though. If you didn't say, "Hey, what's the price?" I would never have considered that. So.
Oh god damn it! No, that's good though. No, that's good. No, but you know what? That will really help with Xavier Anna roleplay. You know what I mean? It'll be great for the future. I love PC drama roleplay stuff. It's great.
All right. Jumping back to the shop. Lucas, I'm sorry, old fisherman. Isaac.
Okay.
So we'll say this is soon after Xavier leaves with the merchandise on the hover thing. Snipe would go back to polishing the silverware. And he would of course say, if there's anything you need at all, let me know, and feel free to peruse, and come get me if you want to talk price of anything.
Okay, I'll do that. And I would like to possibly make an engineering roll or something similar to try and find something that Isaac knows is probably pretty rare, something that Hart mentioned that is only found on capital ships that is obviously stolen.
Okay.
I also have fine contraband.
A military grade.
Yes. I have fine contraband for that too, so that could work as well.
Yeah. It would be... Yeah, go ahead and roll me a fine contraband.
Okay. Skill roll of 76.
Unfortunately, everything that you see here seems to be above board.
Alright. Well... what do you think, Lucas?
I'm sorry, man. Your rolls.
Is this
dude, my rolls are
did
fucked
you turn
tonight.
to the old man and say, "What do you think, Lucas?"
Yes.
What do you think, Grandpa?
Lucas.
It looks shiny. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you weren't listening again. You need to
Well,
clean your ears out sometimes.
I've been here the whole time.
Sorry, I might be laughing a lot during this. I'm sorry.
All right. You know what? I'll just talk to the dude. Screw it. Unless you can think of anything, Lucas.
No, I just really like the way your hair sways in the wind.
Thank you. And he's gonna walk up to the counter.
Oh, hello, sir. Hang on a second.
Jesus
God.
fucking Christ! I swear to God. Did you fucking make it? Did you?
Oh, I knew it!
Sorry,
Tonight is not my night, man. It's not my night.
He goes, hello, sir.
Hi, buddy.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
Perhaps. I would like to talk to you about some business. Perhaps in some kind of back room like you had back on Frontier.
And you see, like, he... Almost like, Has everyone here seen Zootopia?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That one I've seen.
The slug?
That's
Or
that
the
scene
sloth?
where the sloth is told the joke and they slowly realize and like their face just slowly, eyes widen, mouth opens, and you.
Yes, buddy. How's it going? It's been a while, hasn't
he
it?
He starts like getting uncomfortable, looking around, going, everything's fine. I didn't expect you to drop by without telling me.
It's fine. But seriously, I would like to talk to you in a back room if you have any.
Of course, and your friends as well. He kind of looks at them. Can they be? And he'll put his hand like over his mouth. Trusted?
Yes, otherwise they wouldn't be with me.
Right, of course.
All right.
Sure. Right this way.
Okay. And I'll follow him. And motion for everybody else to follow Isaac.
Is this way the bathroom?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
He waddles over.
Snipe would take you to the back of the store, to a door that is, it's not hidden, but it is very flush with the surface and painted the same color, so you would be forgiven for walking by it without seeing it.
Yeah.
And he just slides it open and motions you in, and he goes, my friend, it's been too long. And he'll close the door behind you.
Yes. So, let's get straight to business. We're looking for something specific. We're looking for information on the museum that's here.
Museum? Oh, you mean the museum for the monarchy?
Yes.
He kind of looks around. I'm assuming you're not just there to admire antiques.
Oh, we'll be admiring them for a while, if you get my meaning.
Ha ha. Oh no, he says as he sits down, and he goes, where? Lysic, right? There's your name, right? Lysic? Alright, Lysic, we're friends, right?
I would imagine so.
If
I mean, we helped you get off of Frontier Station and out of a lot of trouble.
A bit.
And if I recall correctly, we had some kind of discount. I thought it was like 30%.
Yes, it was a 25, I believe. But yes, absolutely, you have a discount.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come to me and you want equipment or salvage goods or things that aren't exactly legal. I'm your man, but you're asking me for
your contacts. Because I
No,
know I'm fairly sure you're still into the same dirt that you were back then.
Yeah, he says, and he goes, of course, it's not... Look, Snipe pays his dues. Don't ever let it be said that Snipe doesn't pay his dues. It's not a matter of contacts, Lysick. I can give you the information you want, you're just not going to like it. And, well, if you're planning what I think you're planning, as much as we are friends, I would like to be as far away from you as possible.
Well, that could be arranged. I mean, if you don't tell anybody that we went to you, then we don't have to tell anybody that we went to you. But we need that information.
Perhaps, maybe, giving you the information would solve this problem for me. The museum. The Monarch Museum.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I, ever personally, oh, what the hell. I do, in my spare time, a little side work that is a little less than legal, that involves... Well, I case places, security systems, weaknesses, strengths. Sometimes I can make a pretty hefty penny informing said place of where their weaknesses are as a legitimate security consultant, and other times I can make a fair profit giving the information the other way.
That's exactly what we're asking.
Yeah. I looked into the museum. I decided quite quickly that it wasn't worth the investment because no one would try it.
I mean, we were able to break into a vault that was supposedly so impregnable that a fleet of cruisers would not be able to bombard it from orbit, but we still did it.
Well, I have no doubt that you're impressive. And he kind of hesitates. All right. I'll give you this information. But that makes us even. Fair?
Sure. That could make us even.
Snipe,
I mean, we're still friends, right?
Depends on how this ends. Yes.
If we're dead,
it does, doesn't it?
And Snipe says, but
because
I owe nothing to your group after this, and the discount lowers to 10%.
Sure. That's fine. You owe us nothing. We're calling in a debt. And we still get 10%. That's pretty good.
Okay. Then I'll tell you what I know. The Monarchy Museum. And he'll pull out some blueprints. Actually, you know what? If you guys want to take a quick break, maybe go grab a drink or something, I can actually modify things a bit to get you some pretty decent blueprints.
Oh, sure. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I will need to modify things a bit, but yeah, I can
That's
do that.
fine. Yeah,
I'll BRB then.
Take 5 minutes. Yeah.
Sounds
Okay.
good. I will BRB as well.
All right.
Beat to the art to the B. And we can think of ship names the entire time. I'm alone, aren't I?
No.
No, Piph is here. I heard you giggle. How you doing, Piph?
I'm doing pretty darn well.
Good.
Ah, man. So actually, just before this, I was on another stream doing this sort of weird improv role-playing thing where it's like a one-shot, but you like kind of just pick your name for your character, and then people kind of like, very similar to like an improv thing where people just kind of like shout like suggestions and you pick out one, and that's how you make your character.
Wait, is this I think I played something like this with Kisher Price and Stabby. Is it called, what's it called? It's like a simple word.
Yeah, I think it's like something.
No, not but like Fate. No, damn it, what's it called? Damn it! But it's the same game.
No, it is a different one.
Oh, it's a different one. Okay.
I think it's called Fill in the Blank.
Oh, okay, cool. Did you have fun? Was that how was that experience?
That was really fun.
Good.
You get some interesting stuff where it's a D10 system. It's very quick, very clean, and it is a purely like super high like speed game where it's just like, all right, so this game is going to be set for 2 hours, and we're going to make our characters, play through an adventure, and end before 2 hours.
Might be something we want to do with our gang here. That'd be pretty groovy.
It is pretty tough because you need a lot of suggestions, usually from your other players, but you can also get them from chat.
No, that sounds. I totally would love to do something like that. Find out the name of the game.
I think it's literally called Fill in the Blank.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's easy.
I will double check into that. It might be a self-made system, but
okay.
It's very easy to make.
Yeah, sure.
It's a
sounds almost like an improv group warm-up game in a sense.
Yeah, kind of. Except it's very much extended.
Neat.
It's very interesting because you know how like you have your characters are just like, I'm pretty strong in these areas and whatnot. Like I'm a person who does like tinkering and things like that. And you'd be like, oh man, if I tinker something, I'll get pluses and whatnot. This one is you have 2 positives that you can get your pluses towards. And it can be pretty much anything, and then 1 negative that you get negative rolls for. It's super nice. I think my character was I think I ended up naming my character Brennan the Bear. That was class Wolf. Then his abilities were like Foodman, which basically just said he is anything to do with food, he gets that sort of plus. And I think Metamorphosis was his other like positive ability. And his negative was 2 eye patches.
Oh, what? So he's blind. Unless one eye patch is over the other, then you could have like 2 eye patches. Cute, clever.
I am back.
Welcome backsies.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back.
I would like to level with you guys.
Yeah.
You get lower levels?
Yeah. Oh no! Such a bad wording.
Man.
I'm sorry.
Giving us XP?
You know what? I'll get that to you guys tomorrow before I forget
10,000 points for Gryffindor.
Maybe I'll set an alarm, a special macro.
My head is getting worse and worse and worse. So I was hoping, I'll give you guys kind of the blueprints and layouts, and give you all the information Snipe has for you, so you have that, and then we kind of call it until next week.
All right, hey man, if your head hurts, your head hurts. I'm not going to force you.
It's
I
cool.
mean, that'd be an asshole move. So yeah, I understand, Squee. So yeah, if you can hold on a little bit, and hell, we might, take a half hour after you leave or whatever to kind of mull about this ourselves, and maybe Burn can keep on streaming during that, and then when we're done with our evil plans, maybe we'll go from 0 to 100 again like last week, and then we'll naturally end the stream, but you can focus about getting some rest. I know we won't be able to ask any questions, but might give us a little something to do.
Yeah, if you have any immediate questions, of course, and of course I'll be on Skype and all that. I have an appointment in the next few weeks, which might help. They're kind of mystified. Like, I'm getting headaches every few days now. And,
lobotomy, full frontal lobotomy.
They're like, well, we're sure it's nothing detectable and serious. I'm like, well, that's encouraging.
Well, no,
it's not a tumor. That's good.
Well, see, that's what it is: a tumor, an aneurysm.
Right.
Meningitis, so yeah, it is good news, because if it was something that they could detect, then it would be a serious. I mean, it's a chronic condition, but you won't die.
Yeah. Right. You won't. Anyway, enough of my problems.
Squee, just saying really quickly, if we're still going to be streaming, don't forget the thing I asked you a few days ago with Piph.
Oh, actually, Piph and I were talking about that, and we should be getting back to you soon.
Okay, I just need to know a day.
Yeah.
Like
Understood.
a day of the week.
Yeah. Piph and I had a conversation not too long ago, and we're working on it.
Okay. I'll just postpone the first week then, for now.
All right.
We're talking about DBZ League for now.
Yeah, I know. I'm teasing.
Real quick.
Uh-huh.
Squee, I got a stable time on the other thing. It will not overlap on the day that we discussed.
Oh, cool. Okay, well then, Burn, I'll give you a day once we stop streaming.
Sounds good.
Perfect. All right.
Hey, Mackenzie, got a thing? You know that thing that I sent you? Did you check out that thing? I'm sorry. I'm just being.
It sounds like that.
Yeah. Harry Birdman, that hippo.
You get that thing I sent you? Okay. So let me shoot you over. So Snipe actually pulls up a holographic display showing this. And I hope this
blackness.
Is it?
All kinds of darkness, yes.
Is it really?
It's showing my heart.
Hang on a second.
Oh, you're not that.
Oh no.
Black heart for me.
Hang on. Does this have I'm not supposed to have dynamic lighting enabled at all.
Really? Shit.
Oh, hello. Hello.
I don't remember enabling any of that.
First
That looks familiar.
Guns?
Yeah, they're just actual guns.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Cool.
This is totally not from the cyber place.
Oh, I was about to say, how did Squee whip this up so quick?
Actually, this was not something whipped up at the last second. This is something heavily modified.
Okay. Hey, that works.
The 3D display is actually quite thorough. And Snipe will go on for some time about his technique for doing it. He wears a special suit he has that has tiny cameras all over it that take snapshots, and he walks through the building or the museum taking thousands of little snapshots, and then he can bring it back, and he's got a guy that can composite them all together into a highly detailed 3D blueprint.
He's a Google Map fan.
Get on, Mackenzie.
Yeah. You'll notice that, like, every once in a while the holographic's got like half a person walking.
Yeah.
They all have their faces blurred.
He'll say, "This is the museum. It's very small on purpose. It also, as you can see, is heavily defended. In addition to these turrets, which, while I can't be sure how powerful they are, I can tell you they are slug throwers. So they throw some form of actual bullet, quite a large one too, from the looks of them. There is constant security there. My visits there were always 6 on patrol."
Mm-hmm.
Even when the museum was closed.
On patrol, all right.
There's a receptionist at the front desk, of course, to take admission. There are groups of 10 are only, like no larger than 10 are allowed in the museum at any one time. and it is, for all intents and purposes, one giant room with display cases displaying their antiques, supposedly gathered from low technology worlds that the galaxy mostly does not have access to. Very, very valuable. Why I was considering it in the first place. The sorry.
No. I'll wait for my questions till after. Please continue.
The security systems that I was able to scout out, in addition to the guards and the turrets, when the museum is closed, and this one was quite tricky to find out, there are infrared sensors that basically scan the location in random intervals. There is a simple computer AI in control of them so that there is no technical pattern to memorize. Now, if you could somehow get past the guards and the turrets, which I assume the guards are... I'm sorry, not assume. I know. The guards are not there at night. There is only one guard at the front, but the security sensors more than make up for that. If you were somehow able to get past the guards and the sensors and the turrets, the vaults themselves are of high quality construction. You would either need an expert locksmith or some form of tools capable of punching through the toughest of materials, and preferably quietly.
What would be the toughest materials?
So I'll just say, like, you know, out of character, they are... Oh, well, sorry, go ahead.
That was in character.
Oh, okay, got it. So, wait, sorry, what exactly are you asking?
He's going to, he's going to ask, so what are the toughest materials to you?
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's why I was going out of character, because I don't...
that's fine.
Yeah. They are... heavily mega damaged. Each vault, the doors themselves, is probably about 300 mega damage. The walls, obviously less, but they're also harder to get to. The walls may be 100 mega damage, so you'd have to find a way to drill, get, or blast through that.
Yeah. So 300, 100, 100, 100.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And he'll say, the walls of the museum itself are not quite as impressive, of course. They are a strong material, but much less so than the vaults. But again, I was not able to think of a way that anyone would be able to do this. But you asked for the information, so I'm giving you the information.
Is there a bathroom?
No.
No, there's no other room.
You mean here or there?
In there.
Oh, no.
Okay.
He'll say there is one outside, right outside the complex. So keep in mind, this is in a station, so even when you go outside, you're not quote-unquote outside.
Yeah.
There's bathrooms in that corridor. But given the size of the establishment, because this is to scale, so if you want to use the ruler, this is all to scale. This is a very small facility.
Okay.
So
I have the entire thing is a vault.
Yeah, I have a couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
First, where is the bracelet?
Ah, yes, the holographic. Now, and this would have to wait until you get back to Xavier, because Xavier and Zuzano would be the ones that would recognize it. But Xavier, after scrutinizing it for some time, you would realize it is this thing right here. It's a silver bracelet on what looks to be some sort of dais or pedestal.
Okay, great. Second question. If this was a museum and these things are behind vaults, how do people look at the displays?
They are transparent.
So the material is transparent? It's like transparent aluminum in Star Trek?
I was thinking the same thing,
Yeah,
yes.
it's transparent.
That's the ticket, laddie.
Okay.
That's
so
the ticket. Okay,
are all these vaults electronically controlled?
No, they are mechanically controlled. So cutting the power, so power controls things like the turrets and the sensors, does not control the doors.
Question: as far as the robot turrets go,
Mm-hmm.
are they low yield ballistic or high yield energy, aka are they SDC or MDC?
They are. Hang on. Let me see if I actually have that written down. They are. They are SDC, but highly damaging SDC.
Yeah, so like 1d6 times 100 SDC.
Basically, yeah.
Or
like,
I don't know exactly what it is, but yeah, they're
a high roll could
big-ass
do 1 or
SDC
2
guns.
points of mega damage. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So it could kill you in one hit, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
God knows if they just look at Xavier, it could kill him one hit because his skin is made of tissue paper.
He will tell you that the roaming guards that he saw were only using SDC weapons because Noble Station itself, the whole station, is MDC restricted. So the guards have never really needed to carry anything that's MDC themselves.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, you don't want blast holes in the side of your space station that's hovering in orbit in space.
Mhm.
Cool. I'm just wondering if I have any other questions. While he's here.
Susanna would point out that, would she get to see this at all?
Yes.
Oh, of course.
Okay, she would point out that several of these artifacts are quite famous artifacts from her home.
Gotcha. Okay. How about recording surveillance? Do they have it or do they not have it?
As far as Snipe could tell, there was no visible surveillance. If there was surveillance, it would have been behind some sort of opaque material. But as far as he could see, and he looked, he couldn't find any surveillance.
Okay.
Anna's not going to trust that, whether it's true or not.
Oh yeah, me neither. When we do this, even though we won't have like the loud noise disguises, we gotta have our faces covered without a doubt. Without a doubt.
So there's no sewer lines going inside. There are sewer lines going nearby, though. Correct? Because there's a bathroom nearby.
Yeah, not in the way you're thinking. Yes, but Noble Station's sewage, if you want to call it that, are vacuum tubes that lead directly outside, and the waste just falls down to the gas giant below.
That gas giant has a lot of poop in it.
Ew.
Think like
Ew.
all the toilets on Noble Station are akin to the toilets on an airplane, where it's got that vacuum sucks everything down.
If it makes you feel any better, the gravity in the gas giant is so immense, it's probably all crushed into like something like 2 inches big.
It's a poopy core.
Oh God. So my question then is: are there any like utility lines or anything like that?
Utility lines? Yes. Are you talking about something big enough for someone to crawl through?
Yes.
Not leading to the vault itself, but around the vault there would be ventilation. Yes. Utility. There's power lines and things of that nature, but nothing big enough that anyone, even the size of a kid, would be able to squeeze through. Okay. Ventilation's on the outside. Yeah, kid could get through it. One of you guys with a really tight squeeze might be able to get through it. But nothing approaching more than 20 feet of the outside of the vault.
Kid's an empty creature. Okay. That's very interesting.
How about you're talking about the electricity systems or whatnot. Does Snipe know what happens if the power's cut off?
If they have a backup generator?
Yeah, he said that is the one thing that he was not. He'll say that there are two things, pieces of information that he really wanted that he was not able to get. One, if they have a backup generator, because such a thing was not visible while he was there. However, backup generators, usually his suit can pick up the stored energy of a sensor power generator. But when he went, there was some construction going on in the backgrounds of the museum. So it's either they don't have one or it was damaged or down or something at the time. So he cannot say with certainty one way or the other if they have a backup generator. The other thing that he was not aware of simply because he wasn't able to get a good look, is the front desk. Many times in museums like this, front desks have like kill switches, i.e. silent alarms, power cutoffs, things of that, like a master board at the front desk that can be used to operate many things. He was never able to get close enough to view that.
Now, this you said it was an ultraviolet, or no, it was an infrared grid, right?
Correct. Infrared lasers that move in a or infrared beams that move in a random pattern.
Okay, so the beams move in a random pattern. Is it from the top of the museum to the bottom museum, all the way north, south, east, and west? Like, it covers everything at random times? Like, I'm just wondering how frequent it is and how dense the laser beams are.
Like, is it Ocean 12 style?
No. I need to know if these have to be these can be avoided with dexterity, or they'll have to just be deactivated. You know,
Ocean's 12 style is a really good example. What
if you never saw Ocean's 12?
Yeah, so, okay,
look it up on YouTube. I can't.
So he did not think to record or note down how extensive the laser system was, but he did note that they were clearly visible during his trip there. They were visible as dark. Sorry, losing my train of thought. Dark little. It looked like almost like little portholes in the wall. And while it's not showing up on the hologram, and he himself doesn't remember, if you were to go to the museum yourself, it wouldn't be too hard, now that you know what you're looking for, to get that kind of information.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously they don't have it on during the day.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
He will also note that, interestingly enough, as far as he could tell, the vaults themselves have basic security, meaning there are sensors that can tell if it is opened or if it is moved, but he's seen other vaults that have far more complex, like heat or temperature or slight vibrations. What he saw was nothing that complex. It was more just base simple sensors. He said that his guess is that they figured that everything else was good enough, that they kind of maybe skimped on those sensors. God. There's a sensor that would be activated if the vault was opened, but it's fairly basic.
And now, if the item was moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how often do they get new items or replace older displays?
These displays are never rotated. This is their entire collection. As far as new ones being added, as far as he knows, because he's only been here about 2 years, a little less than, actually, probably a lot less than that. Time is kind of weird in our campaign. They've only had one new edition, and apparently this collection's taken about 20 years to get.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I think I'm good for my questions.
I think I would want to use our AEG.
The
reason why. The way to communicate back to Zeberon.
Okay.
Because then we can ask Zeberon if, at this point, at this time, did they have a generator in this place? Would that be a fair enough question? Because they are history buffs.
I mean, it's a fair enough question, certainly. Whether or not they have that information it's definitely possible they have that information. They're Corsairs. This wouldn't be the first time the Corsair needed to break into something. But it's just kind of a hit or miss. Sometimes historical records are lost. Sometimes there are some times where, like, they might not even have Noble Station in their records. But it's certainly worth asking.
I would like to possibly even just make a skill check or something. Roll a D100. See if they have any information about this place at this specific time.
I would say just roll me a straight D100. It's kind of, with something like that, it's kind of just random chance.
Does anybody else want to roll, or should I?
And before anyone rolls, choose high or low.
Oh, it's your idea. You roll it.
Mm-hmm. I would like to choose high because I've been rolling high all night.
I understand.
Please, let me roll high.
Lols. Fuck you, apparently, says the dice.
Oh my god.
Fuck my ideas, apparently.
What did you do to the dice, bro?
We can come up with other ideas. Don't stress.
Yeah, unfortunately, they have no records of Noble Station. They can tell you that whatever this noble family is, they obviously did not have enough influence in their lifetime to denote keeping records.
Buzz. All right. You know what I'm going to imagine now? And I might have ruined this for everybody. Because they're the LaBeouf, right? That's their surname. So that's really close to LaBeouf. So I'm going to imagine that is Shia LaBeouf. We're breaking into Shia LaBeouf.
So Von Merchenstein LaBeouf is just got the Shia LaBeouf face?
No, that's not fair. That's not even how you described him, but...
It's not incredibly far off. It's about the right age, and he did have the goatee. Just imagine Shia LaBeouf in that kind of uniform.
Do it! Steal it! Do it!
He will not divide us. All right, anyway. I'm done for questions for Squee. Anyone else has questions for Squee, so Squee can rest brain box?
I had one and I lost it.
I'm good.
All right, if you guys think of anything, of course, just Skype me.
Okay, we'll do that.
Sorry to stop a little early, everyone.
This is gonna be so weird that we're still streaming and the GM is going to be off for a little bit. But I wouldn't mind planning a little bit with you, knuckleheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will see you guys. I'm going to... I'm going to just shut everything down. My computer keeps giving me that whole, you need to install updates. I'm just going to shut it all down. Everyone, I love you. I will see you guys Friday, actually. This Friday, we should be having a Crimson Throne. Finally, due to vacations and stuff. We haven't had one in like a month.
I'll make sure to change the title, because you never tell me to change the title and stuff.
Because I always plan on doing it myself, and I eventually get it done. After the stream starts. Take care, everyone.
Later.
Bye.
Bye. So I have 3 ideas, and they're general ideas, just general approaches, and we can probably look at our skills and do things. But I see this as three main approaches: go in at night, all Mission Impossible style. Go in during the day, all bank robbery style, and hold people hostage or whatever, right? Or go in during the day sneaky style. So posing as members of this family or LaBeouf himself and manipulate the security system and the people operating the security system.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 general meta major approaches that we can take. If I'm missing anything, let me know. As far as skills that I think would be useful in this for what I have, I do have escape artist, so I can
Same.
fit through different areas. Disguise, obviously. A little bit of palming could be useful, especially if we're doing the daytime robbery, right? Cryptography, I don't think is going to be very useful. Computer operations, maybe their front terminal might be useful, right?
Yeah.
But my biggest one is electronic countermeasures. Because I'm with Mackenzie, I don't trust that they wouldn't have some sort of subtle recording devices, or countermeasures could be anything. That laser grid is technically a countermeasure that can be interrupted, right? The only thing is I only have a 45 to that skill, maybe a 50 if we get leveled up, right? So I wouldn't want to depend on that.
I have 30 in that.
Okay. But as far as the deception goes, obviously I have my face. I have imitate voice and impersonation. Lucas is very good at imitating voices as well. In addition, I have a pretty decent forgery skill as well.
That's cryptography?
No, that's
Okay.
that's
what I'm asking,
forgery.
yeah.
That's forgery. Yeah. So that's pretty much my skills that I can see that would be really, really useful in this situation. How about you guys?
The skills that I have are things like palming, prowl, maybe streetwise, and intelligence or computer operation. That's kind of it. Like I have...
Now, don't discount magic spells or psychic powers as well, guys.
Right, magic spells. I keep forgetting about magic spells. Page 3.
Yeah.
I have...
And I'm going to start looking through our gear as well to see if there's anything that we literally have that might be handy.
Ooh. Oh, I have an idea. Depending on how the... Depending on how the recording software is... What if I were to make a lantern that does blinding flash for several minutes and just have us wear protective eyewear that would blind all the cameras?
Would that set off the turrets, though?
I don't know. It would at least blind the cameras, so the recordings would be useless.
That can also manipulate them off.
That's true.
Hey, but you know what? It's good. Hey, I think what's really handy right now is this initial stage is that we imagine all of our skills, abilities, psychic powers, magic powers, gear. We're just throwing it in a big pile in the center of the floor just to see what we got, right? And then we'll sort it out into a plan. So I think right now suggesting stuff is never a bad thing. Never a bad idea.
Like, honestly, a lot of my stuff is... like, mostly gun-related, obviously, because I'm a Psy Slinger. But there is one that I get that is Psy Sword. And because I'm level 10 in Psy Slinger, I have 10d6 MD with that. So I could theoretically hack at things, but it's going to take a while. There was also the idea that we had back on the Cyber Conclave, if you remember that. Remember Squee talked about a bottle that was just... we would use it with the portal to the plane of water. Out of character, we know it's a plane of water. In character, we don't know. But it's a plane of water. Fill it up with like thousands and thousands of gallons, and then you can just open it up and it shoots out all the water. And the bottle was essentially like a little pocket dimension that was just full of water. Like a water.
And how will that assist us in this?
The only idea that I could think of was to, like, just open it up while we're in here and act like, holy shit, what the hell's going on? And it just slowly shorts out everything. But then we also have the mechanical vaults. But we also have a Kid. Now, Kid can float. And these are all transparent.
Yeah, Kid could floop, which is good now. But Kid, I think you can only floop like what, once a day or something like that.
It's here, let me.
Is it ISP?
Look at it. Yeah,
it's ISP based.
ISP.
Oh, jeez. You can just literally floop it and grab it.
Yeah, it costs 3 ISP, and I have 16 available to me, and I can go 3 feet per level. It takes 3 seconds for me to reappear, or between 3 to 15 seconds to reappear.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We also have the system shutdown dart gun, right?
That's true. That's very true.
That's a big one. That'll be really handy for the turrets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so
good.
I think right now, Kid we don't need to worry about. I forgot about Kid's flooping ability. Regardless of which scenario we would do deception, bank robbery, or Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
She's our way to get in and out and get the things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's great. We don't need to worry about drill. We don't need to bust them open because you can see. So where you can look, you can go, right? You can see right through there. The vault's big enough for Kid to fit in. So, Kid, you're beautiful beautiful for this. Beautiful for this. Okay, let's continue. Throwing in abilities and spells and stuff like that.
Real quick.
Yeah, go.
I was wondering, Inferno or Piph or literally anyone, do you guys know if there's like, I guess kind of like an invisibility cloak type like suit or something that's available? Because I know there's technology now that's like, it shows like
there's stealth suits.
the background.
Yeah,
and
there's
one. There's just right off the top of my head. I know in Mercenaries, there's one by Naruni Enterprises, which is like literally like a stealth suit. It's crazy awesome. But I don't know if we'll be able to get our hands on it. But
yeah, I think I have one of those. But
you think
probably
I would need
wouldn't
to
fit
check.
Kid.
No, it wouldn't fit.
But what I was thinking is maybe if we can like whip together some kind of like techno wizard thing that's kind of like an invisibility cloak. That way the kid can pop in and out without even like
detecting anything or anything clear
or showing up on any cameras.
Yeah, there's invisibility superior and invisibility minor, if I recall correctly. That's how it's worded. But minor can be detected by infrared. But major is complete invisibility. You have to have see the invisible in order to see it. Or, if I recall correctly, see aura. I'm not too sure on that one.
No, not see aura. I think just see the invisible.
Yeah, okay.
Or Eyes of the Wolf, yeah.
Yeah, Eyes of the Wolf does that too. But I don't have that spell.
Yeah. So let's not, because we could spend the next 3 hours about things that we could have, right? Let's focus on what we do have. You know what I mean? What's currently in our wheelhouse, and see if we can't going with that. I'm gonna just pitch one really quick idea while we're still throwing things out. The interesting thing is that we need to find out if there's a surveillance, whether it's passive surveillance or active surveillance. That is, if it's passive and it just records, and after an incident, someone later on reviews it to use it as evidence, right? Or if it's active, which is the security feed is being directly monitored by personnel who can respond to what they see. And I think I can come up with a great idea to find out what it is. What we do is we, like days previous, before the break-in, we create a small incident. Nothing major, right? Something that requires an immediate response, but nothing that's criminal. Someone making a scene. I know Lucas is really good at making a scene, you know what I mean? Or doing something shady that the security wouldn't see, but the cameras would, and it's very simple. If you get caught, then we know it's active surveillance. If you don't get caught, we know it's passive surveillance.
Do we know if there's like a barrier around, or not, obviously there's the actual barrier, but do we know if there's a barrier between the barrier and the actual people, like a velvet rope between us and the cage?
Well, I doubt it. I don't think so. It would be on the map itself,
Yeah,
right?
it would be on the map.
Okay.
No, I think people can just browse from vault to section to section and take a look in. Anyway, sorry, but I interrupted that with people spitballing. Some people haven't even been able to chat what they have as far as skills and spells go. So I'll shut up.
Go for it.
I have Prowl, Computer Operations, Streetwise Surveillance Systems, Pick Locks, Escape Artist, Computer Programming, Computer Hacking, Detect Concealment, I guess, and Electronic Countermeasures, and I haven't looked at Zapper stuff yet.
Okay, no worries. That's really good, though. You're kind of made for shit like this.
Because I made her for shit like this.
Hey, Opa! Cool. How about you, kid? You want to chat? Oh, sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
Since these are mechanical stuff, you could try to just picklock these.
We could.
It's pick lock with manipulate, whatever, with a -30 penalty.
Well, Squee said, yeah, you either have to drill through it or be a really good lockpick. Well,
so that's
really
a
good
45 chance. Well, here's the thing. I succeeded on that during the giant heist against the hard to get through vault, but the hotel door. So that's just kind of leaving it up to roll situation.
Well, luckily we do have a backup too,
Yeah.
right? Kid's a good backup.
Yeah.
I would go the pick route for sure.
Yeah, no, that's on my mind.
Okay.
Aren't there also electric or electronic
locks?
Tools specifically for electronic locks?
Oh,
and
probably.
stuff that would be able to help.
Sure. Fake scan cards, all sorts of stuff that real life hackers use.
Yeah.
My hacking is only 15 at the moment. I will say that much.
15, 15?
Yeah.
No, fair enough. Okay.
I just got it.
How about you, Kid and Lucas, as far as skills and abilities and spells go? I know Mackenzie's looking through her Zapper stuff.
Most of Lucas's natural skills for this kind of thing can only really be boiled down to he can mimic sounds and voices if that ever comes up.
Yeah, might.
And he has a lot of physical skills, so if you need him to be stealthy or get up to a specific spot and whatnot, he's really good at general movement. Spell-wise, he has a slew of spells that can actually
help.
Yes. A bit of a negative for most of his spells. It's very easy to identify the thing that happened.
So they're very conspicuous.
If I throw a pie at something, they notice it's a pie.
Yeah. So this wouldn't. Yeah. So there's no cloak and dagger with these spells. That's fine. So what are some of them?
So I have a very nice one that is an good old lemon meringue pie, which is mega acid. Its particular thing is that it just kind of eats through things. So if you want a pie-sized hole in something, it can probably do that.
Okay.
That's it's not really super damaging, but its description is it goes through mega damage armor and then starts going through the stuff underneath of that after some time. So it's very good at focused damage. Most of the other stuff is more just hey, this kind of does damage and does different shiny, goofy little things here and there. There's a few hey, I can change some features or colors or maybe make a rope. It's very simple stuff, but I think the one that could probably help out the most with this is probably a quick teleportation. Very similar to Kid, would be able to actually get in and get out of these particular places.
That is, that's definitely handy. Cool.
Would we want to try and kind of spread out what we take to make it less obvious that this is what was specifically targeted? Because I know that that's risky, but there's also the fact that Labu just had an encounter with a young lady who was specifically asking about this bracelet.
Well, see, this is what I'm thinking. Depending on what we do, if we're doing it a daylight robbery or whatever, and we're doing a snatch and grab, we should take more than one thing, right? But if we're able to really control the situation, I say we rob it all.
Oh yeah.
They're priceless artifacts, and here's the best thing: a fair chunk of them are from Zuzana and Zephaniah's home planet, Palladium. Screw it. You know what'd be great if we came back? Xavier's all about, hey, bracelet. Well, here's the bracelet back, and also all these other things, right?
Yeah.
Surprise!
So I want to take as much
Buy
as
his
possible.
ex's affection.
It just took me 16 years.
So, okay. Just to give a good picture about this, the teleportation that I was talking about, that was probably the best one. I could probably only do that once in and once out, and that's even has a percentage chance of failing. A low one, but
no, but it's handy. I mean, it's an extra floop, really, is why it is, which is good. It would be really handy if we needed to do. Yeah. Okay.
Another one is that I have invincible armor, allowing us to be able to take these particular bolts from the turrets.
Yeah. If we are able to get Isaac to the wall, because these walls are 100 MDC. And if he can start wailing on these with his Psi Sword, each attack is 10d6. If I get a high roll, that's 60, so it might take 2, 3, 4 swings to get through one wall, another wall, another wall, another wall, and just go down the line. The problem is it would take time.
And it'd be noisy.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
So, once again, we won't really know what. Once again, we won't really know exactly what time frame or whatever until we actually come up with a concrete, plan. It's just things that we can do. So Isaac's Psi Sword is another thing that we don't have to worry about bringing bombs or equipment. He can maybe hack his way through. Okay, that's another thing. Anything else that we can throw into our giant pile in the center before we start actually, coming up with a semblance of a plan?
All right. Another thing that my quick teleport can do is take small objects and put them places.
Ooh.
Interesting.
So if you have any ideas about that, quick teleport can do that.
How much PPE does that take?
It is a very hefty amount, 50.
50, and you have like 110, 120?
Basically.
Okay.
So what do you mean by take small things and put them places? Like teleport? So teleport objects to, what's the range on that?
It should be plenty for what we're looking for, but the actual range is 250 feet.
Okay. So you can teleport small objects as well. Okay. That's good. Okay.
Once let me go back up and find it. I have electricity absorption. The power to draw electricity energy from devices in the immediate vicinity, which can be used by the mutant character to heal blah, 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 blah. Fully healed, she can still use the ability to drain electricity from machines, engines, generators, and electrical power lines. Can drain the energy from the machine to make it temporarily useless until recharge, or reduce the energy power levels 1 degree or 8% per level of experience. Dim lights reduce the energy flow to cause brownouts, and mechanical malfunctions reduce the speed of an engine or computer, etc.
Brownouts, huh? That's interesting.
Yeah.
I
don't know if I've ever seen the phrase brownout before. You're gonna need.
Oh, dude, brownout. We have that all the time over here.
Brownout isn't, it's between. It's a minor blackout.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of completely cutting off energy to an area, you just significantly. A lot of large cities have rolling brownouts, which is in order to conserve energy, or if they're working on the grid or whatever like that. Each household gets like 25% of the power they normally get.
Yeah.
So that way, only certain devices are able to stay on. Lights get really dim, etc. So that is giving me an idea, though. I'll wait though until we're all done throwing things into the center of a pile.
Those are all tacky things. Night vision, but yeah.
Could be useful.
It could be useful for me.
I doubt in the middle of the night this thing's going to be, lit up. Why
Probably
would it
not.
be, right?
For one of the ways that we can kind of poke at the security, Kid and Lucas can probably, like, I don't know. I'm getting, like, the idea of, like, obnoxious, like, tourists coming in and being like, ooh, I'm going to shove my nose as close to this display as humanly possible, and random shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just, like, not, like, enough for someone to be like, you need to, like, come with me and go to jail or some shit, but, like, enough to be like, alright, you should probably, like, take a step back. Like, to see how closely they keep
We're monitoring.
an eye
Oh,
on
so
everything.
that's your idea to figure out whether it's a passive thing or an active thing. Yeah. For sure.
But there's already 6 guards in there during the day, isn't there?
Yep, rotating. Yep.
So if it's passive, when the guards can physically see you, deal with it anyways.
See, that's the thing. We'd have to do an act that the guards can't see, but their surveillance would, right? And that's how we would know. And then if someone comes in and say, "Hey, stop doing that," then we'll know it's active surveillance. If no one comes in, then we'll know that it's passive surveillance.
We can also see if there's either, like, an actual space between, like, guard shifts, or we can also see if we can draw attention to another location that would make them leave the area, and then test to see if there's an active response when something happens in there.
So 2 things. We can, one, because I probably have radio, so we can also see if we can get onto that signal. And also we can, in theory, leave a camera in there somehow. And that way we can also use that to see if there's a guard when the guard shifts happen.
We have flies.
Yeah, we have flies.
We could pretend to plant something. That'd be a good way to find out that the
Good way
other
to get
guards didn't do
arrested.
anything. And yeah, but I mean, it could be something innocuous, right? But they don't know. It could be like it could be literally some gum that you stick on somewhere. But if the guards don't see it, but the surveillance sees it, and they see it as really suspicious if you're sticking something on a vault, then they might come and figure out. But I have a couple of crazy ideas. Are we done pitching abilities and stuff that we can do? Like, are we done sticking things in the middle of the room?
I have just an item that makes you small. There you go.
Okay, an item that makes you small. That can be handy.
What do the boots do?
Holy shit! Wait a second. How small, Piph?
Not like micro small, but like very similar to the doll thing. So you'll probably be like,
that's too big.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is not the doll thing. It's similar to it.
Yeah, but I'm no, but still, it would have to be like out of sight, small. Hide behind, an object small.
What does superhuman speed mean?
You go super, super fast.
Well, like, how fast would that be?
I think that's like a 40 land speed.
I thought it was like a 60 in land speed, but this is off the top of my head. But yeah, it just increases your speed stat to and huge height.
Okay, because I have the boots do superhuman speed. They also do weightlessness, and I don't know how levitation, walk the waves would work on this one. Those are just what they can do.
Weightlessness might work out pretty well to be able to not trigger like weight sensors.
Yeah. So,
a speed attribute of 44, equal to 30 miles per hour. Add a bonus of +2 parry, +6 dodge.
All right. So let's break down the 3 scenarios and the barriers that we have and how good we are at breaking through those barriers, right? So let's first look at the Mission Impossible style, break in while it's all closed up, right? All right. So number one thing that's in our way is obviously the turrets. However, I think we have in our itinerary, in our armory, so to speak, ways to get rid of them. Both Anna can shut them down, plus we have that crazy awesome dart gun, right? Both of those are relatively quiet and less of a problem. So the turrets aren't much of a problem with the Mission Impossible approach. For none of the approaches are we going to have to worry about getting into the vaults themselves, thanks to the Floop and in emergency Lucas's teleportation spell. So that's not a problem. The only two major problems I see of us doing the Mission Impossible style is twofold. Well, threefold, actually. One, possibility of active surveillance. Two, that gosh darn infrared system. And three, the one guard that I'm sure still has ears at the front desk, right? With the infrared, I can see us, if we have some good avoid countermeasures check, we might be able to deactivate it or get rid of it, right? If we have the proper tools. But for me, that infrared thing is the real sticking point, because that thing is attached to some sort of alarm, and if we screw up, then it's over. You know what I mean? It's done and over with. We could, with the Mission Impossible theme, say, screw it. Who cares if we trigger the alarm? We go in, we smash, and we grab, right? That means we'd only take maybe 1 to 3 items, right? Say Kid does 2 floops, Lucas does 1 teleport. We grab 3 things, and we just get the hell out of Dodge. That's also an option, and we can just say, who cares about the infrared, right? It's so the alarm will go off, whatever, right? And if the guard interrupts us, then we knock him out or beat him up or whatever, right? It's going to be like 5 versus 1, right? Like, no big deal. Anything anyone wants to add to that I'm missing in that Mission Impossible scenario?
Well, technically, depending on whether or not the spaces in between the artifacts or whatever is actually transparent, Kid could float into one and then over, and then out.
Definitely.
So,
alternatively, we could take the guard hostage and force him to deactivate the infrared. So we do have a human element in regards to that. Now, I want to make sure I didn't hear wrong. Squee did say at night there's only one guy, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So the human element, even in the Mission Impossible thing, is good, right? We could be very convincing to the poor fellow.
So Mission Impossible will be at night?
Yeah, it will be at night.
Okay,
it's closed. Dun 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 dun. Right. So the good news is that if we can control all the factors, the cameras, the infrared, the possible cameras, the infrared, the turrets, the guard, then no one will know we're there, and we could literally take everything. Right. But the only thing is that if all of our skills and abilities are at the weakest, it's getting rid of those infrared. So that might be a little more of a gamble compared to the other two. I'm not too sure. I'm willing to move to the other two to kind of outline those barriers, if that's okay by you guys.
Plus, everything could change once we've actually seen what's in there in character.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing too. The second, I guarantee, regardless of what plan we're going to go with, something's going to pop up. Right? It's just how it's going to happen, right? No plan survived the first contact with the enemy, right? But this is all about what we're comfortable doing, what we think will be fun doing, and what we think we have the best chance at doing. That's why I'm kind of outlining these 3 approaches. And there's a lot of leeway with that too, right? So the next approach is the bank heist, right? Where we go in as people and we take the guards and we take everyone hostage, right? And we grab what we need, right? So we control the situation in the middle of the daylight. So the same barriers with the turrets, once again, not a problem. The vault, not a problem. Now, what we're doing is we're substituting the infrared for the guards. So the question is, are we able to subdue the guards and possible other public better than we can subdue the infrared, right? Now, the good news is that we won't have to worry about the infrared at all, but if we screw up in subduing, controlling the guards or the public, they're going to be the alarm, right? Once again, we could say, who cares if they have an alarm? We just smash and grab, right? Grab 1 to 3 items, right? Or 5 or so, if we have really good expert flooping, for lack of a better word, and just get the hell out of Dodge, right? That's still an option. Anything anyone wants to add to that? Yeah.
I'm going through the item list, and under miscellaneous, there's restraint dispensers to subdue 56 people normally or 14 complete body restraints. What is that?
That is essentially like a spray can of hard-hitting metal.
Oh my god!
No.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. That subdues people really quick.
The idea is it's like a wire that just goes around you.
Yeah, this is what happens when we actually go through our shit.
See, well, that's what I said. That's why I wanted to go through all the tools and shit. Okay, so here's a pitch idea for the bank heist idea, right? We come in like normal people, right? One person stays here at the front. Maybe one person who's really good at changing their face or disguise. So maybe Lucas or Xavier, right? They masquerade as the front guard. So in case anyone's asking what's going on or they're waiting for the next museum, they can say, no, wait, the tour isn't over yet, etc. Right? They're making sure the public doesn't come in, right? We go in, we deactivate the turrets, and we spray all the people with this awesome-ass metal gas. It doesn't kill them, it restrains them. Then we pick and choose whatever we want. Bada boom, bada bing. Right? Then the only thing we have to worry about is possible active surveillance, right? And that's it. So that's looking pretty good. The other way, the third way, the subterfuge way, also has some pros and cons. With the subterfuge way, if it's pulled off, we don't have to worry about the turrets, we don't have to worry about the alarms, and we don't have to worry about the guards because we're supposed to be there, right? The only thing is that we have to have, giant brass balls, and it has to go on without a hitch. And the idea is simple. We emulate someone who's supposed to be there. So we either emulate the guards, one of the guards, right? Or we emulate LaBeouf or one of their family members, right? We stage a reason why they need to shut it down. Maybe there's some brownouts or some energy, right? Maybe LaBeouf wants to
entertain a girl.
Or entertain a girl and show him off and everything. Oh shit, that's a great idea. He'd have the power and he'd want to woo her with all this stuff and be like, hey, guards, give us 10 minutes, please. Right?
How much you want to bet he has done this before, too?
Yeah.
Fuck, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And I could masquerade easily as LeBook. Not only do I have the voice changer, but I can literally change my face. Lucas could too, if he wants. Oh, shit. But that would be really good. And here's the best thing. Even if there's active surveillance, and we find out about, LeBoo would be like, make sure no one's recording this either.
Yep.
Tip them real well.
Yeah, exactly. We got the money for it. So, now that we outlined our 3 approaches, possibilities, and I'm just calling them Mission Impossible. We'll call them Mission Impossible, bank robbery, or sexy LeBeau. What are we leaning towards? Now that Anna suggested that, I really like the sexy LeBeau idea.
Can we find a different name?
Fine, we'll just say subterfuge. We'll just say trickery.
I can't think of a better way, honestly.
You know what? Why don't we have a plan A and a plan B?
Always.
Why don't we do plan A is trickery, but if that gets screwed up or loused up some way, then we have our plan B.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
If we can, I think it would be a really good idea to keep an eye on what the fuck Princy Boy is doing and like his schedule
During the time?
He's
Yeah.
probably locked up in the house somewhere. Since he thinks he's
Probably,
being sued for murder.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure it makes sense for him to show up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also,
I bet he'd want to show up close to closing time or really early in the morning to prevent, a loss of suspicion.
I don't see him getting up early in the morning.
Yeah,
No.
good point. So it'll be
After
later
hours
on.
is more likely, yeah.
Or just
Yeah.
before it closes,
Yeah.
well, after
But
hours,
you know what? After hours
after
might
hours
be
makes
better because
sense.
it's just convincing one guy compared to 6.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Plus, I mean, if he's done this before, how many times do you want to bet he would have told the guard, "Hey, don't record anything," and then he would have taken a lady to this place, and they got it on. Like, how many times do you want to bet that? And they wouldn't even turn on the fucking security.
And here's the reason why we definitely need a plan A and a plan B, because what if there's a plan A and the guard says, "Okay, well, I'll just need your retinal scan, Mr. LeBeau, or I'll just need, your thumbprint, or I'll just need you to put in your password, or I'll leave it to you and I'm sure you know the password into this place," right? Yeah. So at that point we could abort the mission and go with another plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
But are we okay with having the plan A be deception?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think we need to figure out a way to get a couple more people in.
Wait, I have an idea.
Okay.
And it would depend heavily on how Hart would feel. But how about this? Hart is the one that LeBeau is trying to woo. And we pay the guard to just take a hike. Go around the block for a while and just leave us alone. Then once he's gone, Hart would then be able to hack in because she can interface with the systems, shut everything down, and then we have essentially free reign. And as a backup, we still have that idea of the water bottle, but instead of it being a water bottle with a pocket dimension that gets water and whatnot, how about it be a briefcase or something that LeBeau might pack, or a purse that Hart could bring with a pocket dimension with all of the chattering teeth. And as a backup, you take out the chattering teeth, have them just drill through the floor, get through all of the vaults, and just go. Like a backup, we gotta go make a hole.
Sure, I guess that will work as a backup. I just have one thing to kind of give you a heads up that you might want to consider as Isaac. If LeBeau really wants to pass it off that this is a female companion that he wants to get busy with, fake LeBeau is going to have to be pretty gropey, right? It's going to have to be authentic, right? So if Isaac and or Hart is not happy about even just pretend groping, then, then if they're okay with it, then great. If they're not okay with it, we might have a different patsy. And I mean, once the 2 infiltrators are in, there's no reason why we couldn't let in other folks as well, or frankly negate, not kill, but subdue the guard while he's waiting around, and then we have the entire place to ourselves. But having a briefcase of, having a oh shit button, for lack of a better word, like you suggested, Burn, is a good idea. It's like having a plan B for plan A. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Having an alternative route. Because we can't assume everything's going right.
Yeah, exactly.
So as far as a plan A goes, it looks like we're all unanimous with the deception route. Before we go into the details of that, what do we want our plan B to be? The bank heist or the Mission Impossible stuff?
Well, if we're already gonna be, if we're already gonna be there after hours, and that's already like we're already going to be in motion, then we might as well go bank heist. Like it makes sense.
Okay.
What's a more confusing disguise than LeBeau?
What's a more confusing disguise as LeBeau?
Well, if the cameras haven't been turned off yet and they see someone dressed as LeBeau breaking into everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, that was what you call rhetorical questions. Okay, cool. All right, neat.
I do have a magical pistol that shoots magic net, which would take care of the guard like almost immediately.
Sure, but we would want to make sure the guard turns everything off so LeBeau can have his private show-off sexy time, too, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what? If we were really smart, and it pulls off really well, we could rob the entire place blind, walk out the front doors, LeBeau and the little thing, right? Mm-hmm. And the guard doesn't even know. Then it's too late, right? I mean, that has no sound, no problems whatsoever. The only question is that obviously here's the crazy idea. Okay, there's the not crazy idea, and here's the really crazy idea. Now, Kid obviously can't really masquerade as the love interest, right? So the non-crazy idea is that once we know the coast is clear, we let in the rest of the team for us to grab the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
The only question is, how do we know exactly the coast is clear? We'll have to find out with the surveillance systems, whether it's active or passive. We have to figure out the guard, right? Whether he's literally going to go around the corner and we can sneak you in, right? Or if he's going to just like be waiting outside the main lobby or something like that, right? In which we'd have to subdue them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the crazy idea. To have Lucas masquerade as the love interest, and he can use his teleportability to pop in, grab the thing, and pop out. Although he might not have enough ISP for all of it. Unless we had a magic item to give him more PPE.
There is a magic item we can bring that would guarantee that Kid would be able to come along, not as the love interest, and that would be the necklace.
The necklace.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice. So LeBeau, the love interest wearing the necklace that has Kid in it. Holy shit. Actually, wait, couldn't all of you go in it?
No, it's
That's
only
what
one
I
person.
was going to mention, because I can't remember if more than one living being can go in. I'm pretty sure they can't, though. It has to be one.
Yeah, because we always switch people out, so...
Yeah. It has
But
to be
still,
one
that's a
person.
great idea, Burn. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And we could just have the three of us do that, and the other party members on standby in case the guard gets restless or anything like that.
Yep.
Stake out the front of it, make sure it's A-okay. Shit, I like that idea, though.
There's a bathroom right there.
And how big did you say, Piph, the item make, or how small does the item make a person?
Yeah, I'll get you the exact things, but my best guess would be like 1/10 of your size.
Well, what item is it making? How the size of? What are you talking about?
And remember, I said I had an item that can make you small.
Sure. But we'll want
Isn't it like a ring or a pendant or something?
But if we want to make Kid small, we want Kid as big as possible so she can hold on to all the loot she's gonna grab.
Well, no, I was thinking like someone, like one of the other party members could be small and like get shrunk down into a bag or something, just to make like, I don't know.
Sure.
Just to try and get more people in there.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, I see what you mean.
I don't know if LeBeau would do this, because he doesn't have bodyguards, but would he have servants?
Oh, but he wouldn't want to bring in a servant when he's having, schoolie pooping time, right? I'm thinking we honestly have to keep this as simple as possible. I really like the idea of LeBeau, love interest, kid inside the necklace.
Yep.
Once we know LeBeau and the love interest are nice and secluded, instead of actually having schoolie pooping time, kid comes out, boom, 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 poofs in, steals all the shit, keeps it on themselves as they go back into the necklace. Then LeBeau and love interest, all with tousled hair and all that bullshit, comes on out. LeBeau bribes the guard, gives him a lot of nice big money. They leave up the front door, and then they make a run for it. And before the guard even knows it, they're long gone.
I like
right?
this.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up?
So this is how the item works. Once per day, you can shrink yourself with all of your clothes and possessions and whatnot to 6 inches tall.
Oh shit.
6 inches could fit inside someone's pocket, no problem.
Oh
Yep.
hell yeah.
Is that a Lucas in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Hello.
Apparently it's just
Hi there.
a bright armband that you can fit on your upper arm. And it's pretty vague on just about everything else other than damage, which is from mega damage to SDC.
And how long does the shrinking last for?
See, that's the vague part. It doesn't say.
Oh, lovely.
Fantastic.
Cool. All right, guys. It sounds to me like we have a really decent plan. We have a decent plan A and we have a decent plan B. You know, we have some really great tools to use it, and I don't know. I don't think there's. Is there anything else we should chitty chat about?
So let me make a list of what Techno-Wizard devices we should make, just to make sure. Do we want to go with the Pocket Dimension Purse?
I try to avoid chattering teeth as much as I can,
Yeah.
so I'd probably rather not do that.
Okay. Should I
Plus,
make any...
if they go like devouring everything we don't know, if they would also destroy something valuable that we're trying to get.
That's
a fair
true.
point.
That's a fair point.
Um,
Should I look into making PPE and or ISP batteries?
That would actually be really helpful, because if Kid can have 1 or 2 of those, they could just floop through the whole thing.
Yeah. Also, I'm willing to sacrifice it, but I have a helmet that I could modify for you that would have your ISP expenditure.
Oh, the thing that halves the ISP?
Yes, the crystalline helmet. I would have to modify it to fit your head because, horns and all of that, and that would make it yours. But I would be willing to sacrifice it for this.
We'll think about it, but if we can just get them a battery, like, literally all it costs is 3 ISP to floop.
Yeah.
So...
here is another suggestion. This is probably not going to work because of how the wording works. But technically, I can teleport 50 pounds of an object anywhere that I know where it is within a certain radius.
Oh.
So I don't need to see the area. I just need to know that it exists, basically. Probably just a visual like, that's a place, and then I can probably at any time, if I'm in radius, teleport to that spot.
Yeah, so you could just teleport things into the bathroom, and we just put it in duffel bags.
Sure. But I was thinking, if I combined the have somebody 6 feet tall and teleport that, I can teleport
6
a person...
feet or 6 inches?
6 inches.
Okay. Important distinction.
if it was possible, now this is GM ruling and probably not going to happen, if possible, I could literally put anyone into a vault or wherever they want inside this area.
Oh, there's also one more thing. Are we taking Susanna?
Oh,
Hell no.
Shit. Yeah, no.
Because if
Hell
we are taking...
no.
Hear me out. If you are taking Susanna, then she can teleport people away. Like, say we're able to get a bunch of loot. She can have us gone. That could
Can
be
she
our
do that when she's not angry?
Yeah, I thought it
We might
took
need to make her
like...
angry.
Yeah, I'm gonna say right now, that is not something she has control over. That is something that is extremely rare and impulsive.
Okay, then never mind.
Yeah, it's fair enough. It's like imagine like wild magic.
Yeah.
It's like that, so that it cannot be depended on. I'm afraid. Sad face.
That's fine. That's fair.
Yeah. But that is interesting. If
Yeah.
we could get her upset enough at these objects, she could teleport all of them.
Stupid bracelet!
No. Okay, hear me out. This is from, like, a dude that, like, groped her, and also, like, the specific thing that is, preventing her from, like, meeting her mother and so on and so forth. There's a lot of emotional things and reasons for this, that she can directly, like, have anger and things like that. And I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble for this, but I could, as your character can do, but also my character can do, look and sound like the douchebag to, like, just continue, like, hammering forth, be angry about the situation. And we can do that at almost any time.
Inferno, how much
Yeah.
do you know about her her ability to teleport? Like, does she have to be able to see the thing that she's teleporting?
Yeah. She has to be able to see what she's doing, but yeah, she has to see.
Does it have to be like in front of her, or would it be able to just be like a monitor visual?
Oh god, I don't know. That's up to Squee.
Because if she would be able to, then she could throw people into the building and then use like a video feed to pull them back out. It's an option. Just
Yeah.
It is an option.
Well, if
Oddly enough, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm prideful. Maybe because I think PCs rule and NPCs drool. But I would love it for like us to do it without any NPCs. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if she didn't need physical line of sight, then we could just get a surveillance fly, have it feed, put the visual feed to the spaceship, and just have her beam it to the spaceship. That's so cheesy. I'm not sure I want to do that. Like, I mostly just wanted to suggest it as a emergency. We need to get the fuck out of here. But with it being so random, I don't know. I do like the impersonating the dude.
Yeah.
One more reason to ruin his reputation.
Yeah.
Not only did you have sex in our museum, but now you are stealing items from your own family?
Oh my god. we're gonna ruin his fucking life.
Well,
is there anything else you guys can think of?
Yeah.
I'm going to question this. So, our optimal plan is to disguise as some peoples, tell the guard like, hey, this is what's going on. Could you like basically turn a blind eye to all of this? So he does and whatnot, and then we're in. At that point, I remember Inferno saying that you wanted to take all of the things. How would we do that once we're in there? Possible.
How would we do that once we're in there? With the deception way or with the Plan B way?
The deception way.
Oh, easy. Kid scoops them all up and goes in the necklace with them.
Yeah, because I believe as long as you're holding on
to
whatever you want to bring in with it,
we'll give them like a little bag.
Yeah. So we just had to get enough ISB, and then that should work.
Yeah.
So let me see. To get in and through all of these, I would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 21 times 3 would be 63 ISP altogether I would need.
So, just in case Squee pulls since they're not displayed, they now have like an extra covering over them, aka cannot be seen. I would like an extra plan to have Anna try to get in there, because at least she could try to like open these doors.
Yeah. Although they're mechanical.
Yeah, she has lockpicking.
Right.
It has to be with the ISP thing, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, those are other things that we can check on once we've actually visited the museum. We can see how it's set up. We can see if there are any shutters for closing up the displays. We can see how it's divided up, all that kind of layout stuff. And from there we can plan around it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But we have, you know what? I'm glad that we did this, because that saved us spending 2 hours of next session doing all this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is great.
This one's at the end of a session, so people can just stop watching if they don't want to.
Yeah.
If they want it to be a surprise. Exactly. Well, shall we wrap her up?
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you guys for watching. Let's check. Is it next Sunday?
No,
it's
Sunday
not this
after
Sunday.
Next.
It's Sunday after next. So the 11th, we're gonna have.
I'm enjoying all my vacation. Damn it.
Yeah. So we will catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Cool.